Dun, dun. At the tone, the time will be. Oh no.
You need to
Yes.
clarify, there's a whole lot of oh no in this universe. Like in every direction is the oh no's. Right, so we return once more to the dark future, the 41st millennium, where everything sucks. However, I still hesitate to call you in any way, shape, or form heroes. We're going to go with adventurers for now. Adventurers have actually managed to complete a not impossible, but not easy mission. Given new information by their contact, Captain Abraham, he informed them that while he could help them, entirely possible, in fact even easy, he's not willing to just do it for free, what is these days. Further, he's not really all that interested in spending that much money on the matter. He would prefer rather you do him a favor. It's rather what his position entails, the exchange of favors. The particular favor in question was simple on the outset. All he required you to do was go to a Imperial Guard holding facility, essentially just a stopping place to put prisoners for a short time before sending them up and then sending the remains down. But the particulars grew more complicated. He gave you just a simple, sheaf of paper planted in the offices, all there was to it. However, upon leaving his domicile, the very first thing that happened was, well, unsavory sorts start walking towards you, and naturally the Xenos panics, draws his weapon, because that's a natural greeting for his species, but they took it the wrong way and a firefight started. Despite the astounding luck of the scummy inhabitants with their well-timed and well-thrown hallucinogenic grenades, and even a shot or two that actually managed to fairly bang up our adventurers, they fell pretty easily as soon as Desmonda managed to get within range of her flamers. There wasn't much left in any case. Between the plasma fire, the actual fire, not a whole lot remained. Bereft of evidence and having no reason not to continue on, mind me, they simply moved on towards their established mission, which surprisingly went without much of a hitch. Despite Hobo panicking at one point, they were able to simply have Carnamon slip inside, make a scene, have a few calls, and panic at least one worker. Thanks to his efforts, he not only was able to plant the evidence, but return with a bit of extra notes about the situation with the gangs and the position of a few of the more well-armed and dangerous sorts. With all that in hand, you are most likely on your way to return to Ahab, or you can just get in your ship and fuck off, I don't care. Thus we return down to the planet of Quasimodo, in Hive, Delta B, lower levels, Scum Central.
And now we leave. Or not. Okie dokie. We're back at Ahab's door.
Ah, okay, so you are heading straight to Ahab. Alright then. I was just curious.
Well, we should. It wasn't that far away. This
No,
this
it wasn't.
local
I was
precinct
just
was.
curious if you wanted to do anything before you saw Ahab.
I don't
we'll
think
just
anything
go
we
right
know
back.
to do.
I don't know either. I always want the option available, though, in case you want to, I don't know, bomb his house. You guys are weird.
We can do
Well,
that afterwards.
I will plant
Right.
the bombs, then I'll talk to him and get ready to explode them when we leave.
Right. Returning to his offices is fairly easy now that you know where it is and you have at least something of a map. This, as I said, it mostly just lists out the more dangerous gangs' locations, but it gives you enough of an idea where you are to pretty easily get around to where he is. He welcomes you into his no less clean, in fact it's somehow dirtier than when you left, office. His heels are up, and he's taking swigs from a bottle in what he claims is celebration for a job well done. He apparently is taking your word that you pulled off the job, or he has some way of knowing that you're not aware of. Either way, he seems satisfied and quickly explains he'll resupply your ship and so on, but it will take at least a handful of days, he says. It's just a matter of that many boxes need to be moved and shipped. However, he smiles a crooked, grisly smile and grumbles out, since you drove off them looking for, my head to drag in or whatever was left, with them scum outside, I did mention giving you something, so hold on, I got this old here. And he basically tosses haphazardly at whoever's closest a folder. It's rather overstuffed and ratty and full of who knows what.
As long as it's not full of rats.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
It's Xenos pornography.
Might be at least one.
Who is closest to him at this point?
Probably either me or Sketh.
Okay, we'll just say Sig for simplicity, and you... it's not a check, it's just you get it. And then, he doesn't wave you out so much as belch and then resume ignoring you.
Well, at least outside we can see what's coming.
Well, I'll take a look in the folder.
Or get sniped.
Alright, the folder is extensive, and I'm not going to say random. It does have some, for example, it starts off with various on-planet notes, and then goes into off-planet notes. However, those notes are a bit scatterbrained. A good example is there's some posters for, it seems propaganda-ish. It has a picture of an Imperial Guard with what is frankly not a lasgun, but what someone thought a lasgun looks like. So, and it's saying something along the lines of, join the Imperial Guard today, hunt the terrible beasts of the world, gain, fast rewards and stuff like that. It seems, and there's a little sheaf of paper behind that explaining, at least in some rough scrawl, that quite a few of the nobles and people of note, even just merchants really, will pay quite the pretty penny for a wide variety of animals, honestly. There is a death jungle out there, and even just killing them, the Imperial Guard will at least give you a stipend, and the parts of the creatures are almost always worth something to someone. There's a lot of detail in here. That's just the first one. I'm basically going to list them all out for you. This is basically my meta way of saying, here are the options, pick one, you nerds. Because there's a lot. So, since unless you start wandering off, you're not going to be jumped this second, so.
Everyone wanders off.
Alright, bye. You'll get jumped by gangs and die, fuck you.
Let's just sneak back to get back to the ship and wait for our supplies to go.
All the fucking days to have a fog in my throat. Right then. Okay, right, so in the folder, right. So, like I said, it's separated into on-planet notes and off-planet notes. Is there any particular interest you have on or off-planet, or do you want to just go through the entirety?
Probably on planet first.
Alright. As I
Unless
already
this
noted,
planet has a moon that some of these beasts are on, we're kind of awaiting shipments.
well, yeah, it does have a moon, but we'll get to that.
Moon
right.
fires its laser.
And
All right,
suddenly
so-
all the Transformers are transmetal.
So one of the options is, of course, hunting down basically hostile beasts out in the Death Jungle. So, hooray, Great White Hunters and all that biz. Or Great Blue Hunters? Fuck it. Another option, this one seems to mostly just be vague notes on which, minor houses live here, as, who's in charge of this, who owns what. It's all very tedious notes, but importantly, it does give you something of an idea of who you could go to try and work your way up the system, let's call it. Try and gain a few upper-level allies, theoretically. Who to do favors for to get, reputation with and, work your way up. The third option for on-planet things seems to it's basically just a whole lot of ads for that special sauce stuff. Apparently, it's really valuable or one of their main exports or something, because as an Imperial planet, they do pay the teeth. And that's one of their bigger, better things, and they're always in need of more. So presumably, if you were to be able to acquire either a way of getting, like, either a system to get more, or finding it, or just going out there to get some, that would be a definite way to get a lot of profit really fast. Though, according to what little notes that aren't just advertisements, apparently the creature it comes off of is poisonous to the point of don't touch it, you'll explode.
Sure, the Tau will be fine. They don't have the same biology.
Yeah, that'll work out fine.
Yeah, that'll totally work out fine, guys.
Well, no, till we test it.
Yeah, have fun with that. Please go test that. Just walk into Death Jungle and just start touching things. Those seem to be the primary notes on planet business, essentially. There is a few minor notes about potential bounties. The thing is, the potential bounties thing is they'd have to go to the bounty office to get better details and so on and so on.
Right. Before we look at off-planet stuff, we can do that outside of this guy's hovel.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to leave his hovel.
Well, we have something to barter with towards him, so Sig will, Captain.
Eh.
We have something else that you might find interesting.
Yeah. Is it alcohol?
No, but you do seem to have plenty of that around.
Never enough. I can never forget it. Gotta drown it out.
We have a map of those...
I heard this before. Ain't a map of shit. I tried, I looked, there ain't nothing.
I'm sorry?
There ain't nothing. I've heard this fucking tale before, and I've looked myself. There's nothing on that planet.
What planet?
What do you mean, what planet?
This is no treasure map. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
We have a
You
map.
have a suspicious look.
We've procured a map of the gangs that are being supplied by the arbitrates.
Huh. Well, that could be worth something in the right hands.
Yes, it could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could get that off you, I suppose. What are we thinking here? Trade, or you willing to give me some valuables? Essentially, I'm asking, do you want to try and get profit factor off this man, or would you like to try and barter for something? Either way, I need, a roll. Just depends on what you're after.
Well, if he's
Hmm?
if he's got the resources, getting more profit factor is probably better in the long term.
You're probably only going to get one, all things considered.
I'm
But
curious what the hell he's talking about.
you could ask, that could be a trade. Yes, he is a favor monger. It is kind of his thing to trade information.
Oh, that reminds me, we need to find somebody I can sell the map I made to.
There's that too, yeah.
Well, we got information on the noble houses and stuff. I'm sure
And
there's...
medic, maybe?
Yeah, that would be good.
A medic could be nice, yeah. How's your arm doing? Sorry. How's your stump doing?
Oh, shush. It's still intact.
It's bleeding much slower now, thank you.
Alright, so as I said, if you want to
Yeah.
try and give this man the map, you can. It's just a matter of what you want. If you want information, if you want like a specific thing, or if you just
Information
want profit
seems
factor.
good.
And you are the one with the map, so more or less up to you.
Information would be preferable.
Alright, on what?
Two things come immediately to mind, though I wouldn't be surprised if I could find one piece of it in this folder, holding it up. But
Maybe.
first of all, what were you talking about that you thought I had?
Of course you bring that up. Well, the folder actually mentions a bit of it. It's been a long-standing rumor that there's an ancient, Imperial outpost on Scrap from the Dark Age.
Oh,
He sort of lifts his brow pointedly. Thing is, I've been there. Thrice. 50 times. Listen, I lost count after like the 8th bottle of booze. Point is, been there. Ain't shit. Well, that's wrong. There's a whole lot of minerals, and if you have the right equipment, you probably get damn rich, and assuming shit doesn't kill you or someone doesn't move in on you. Point is, there ain't nothing there. At least I know that from. Rumor bunch of crap.
On scrap.
Yep. Load of crap.
If you say so. Just gotta glance at everyone else for a moment.
Alright, gimme. Waves his hand at your folder. Not the one he gave you, the one
Yeah,
with...
that'd be a bit pointless to give that back to him.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we already,
gave
we
mine
already
for-
have a copy of it in the servo skull, so I'll
Yeah,
hand it
I'll-
over to him.
You're not losing anything, you're just gaining something from a resource. Yeah, that's how that works sometimes.
Yep, I will give it to him.
Alright, he takes it, sort of flips through it, goes huh. Scribbles something down in a random scrap of paper and folds it away.
Explains some extra firepower you've run into.
Yeah, do. Thanks for that. Might be able to handle things a little easier now. Got some dirt on them arbitrators.
Pleasure doing business with you, Captain.
Try not to get killed. It'll take at least a day, probably 3, to get all the supplies aboard.
Of course.
You guys don't mind seafood, right?
Sig shrugs because he probably doesn't have taste buds anymore. Looks at the others.
I'm just mentioning it because that jungle is full of shit that'll kill you. The ocean's a bit safer for terms of eating.
Fair enough. I'm no biologist.
Don't gotta be. There's less teeth in the ocean. Well, at least there's more teeth. But fuck it, get out of here.
Well, Sig knows dismissal when he hears it, and he'll just turn and leave.
All right. Door doesn't automatically shut behind you, but kind of makes a noise like it wanted to, but doesn't work anymore.
I'll give it a friendly push to encourage it closed.
And it gets closed. Remember, that thing did take at least a couple shots during that fight because you took cover near it.
Mm-hmm.
Sig's going to turn a glance on it because he can't abide non-working machines.
Tech roll.
Yes. Right, that roll has actually changed for me because I got another int increase.
Just hit it like the fawns. I'm sure it'll work.
Right.
If he
This'll-
rolls a natural 1, he does, and that's exactly what happens.
I am very likely to succeed on these now.
I believe you. Yeah, you have no problem immediately registering the problem. The issue is not... It's not like something simple. It's been hit by a couple revolver rounds, and one of them got jammed in the mechanism. You'd have to kind of take apart part of the wall, pull that out, possibly at least use at least a couple inches of metal to repair that, and then it'd work.
No, don't
You know,
have the
it'd like take 20 minutes, but
don't have the resources for it, and we might be able to fix it and get something more out of it. We're gonna have to come back here.
I fixed your door. Give me more information.
Pretty much, yeah. Though probably more along the lines of, if your door stops working, people can get in here pretty easy.
I don't think it would be possible to convince the good captain that we are doing anything but make his hangover more painful.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't believe there's anything that wouldn't make his hangover more painful.
That's why he lives alone in a dark room surrounded by booze.
Alright, well, let's walk back to the way up to the upper level, but on the way I'll check that off-planet notes.
All right. Making your ways up to the upper level is a little bit of a walk, mostly because A, I'm presuming you want to avoid gangs, and B, he doesn't live very close to the upwards elevators, let's call them.
Yeah, but I'm figuring that enough of a walk will be to, actually look at those notes.
Let's
Well, the
also
notes-
try to avoid the legitimate law enforcement, because
The good news is the legitimate law enforcement tend to wear uniforms.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
as long as at least 2 of you are keeping a lookout, you won't run into them.
Good.
I will keep a lookout.
Right, so notes. So the off-planet notes are a little more... Well, there's more of them, but they're less detailed. There is the one about scrap. Or, yeah, it's called scrap or heap. Damn it.
Is this the moon?
Heap, right. Heap, not scrap. Scrap is its field, let's call it. Anyway, well. Right, so heap, also called scrap due to the field around it. So technically the field is scrap and the planet itself is... Yeah, point is.
Okay, so that's that planet.
Yes, heap. I'll actually bring everyone over. There we go. This is heap. The outer layer of it, or outer system, at some point maybe it had a moon, maybe not. It's really hard to determine, but there's an unusually large amount of... I'm going to call them asteroids, or remains of a moon in the way. It's not quite a ring. There's still quite a few of the larger ones. It's practically an asteroid field around the thing. How that's maintained and how long it's been there is up in the air. However, the field, called scrap, definitely, almost assuredly, could be used to gain quite a few mineral resources, and very likely rich in minerals, and if not, they at least could be used as outposts or nice little hideaways. It would be rather difficult to chase someone in there if they knew their way around.
High-density resource extraction site.
More or less. Heap is got only a few notes. It's not visited often, and most of it seems to be personal notes of Ahab himself, which mostly consist of ramblings. However, you're able to put together that it actually has an incredibly wide variety and extreme abundance of minerals of all kinds. Let's see. Here we are. He lists iron, lead, titanium, nickel, and platinum as the most easily found, and just generally he had no trouble locating these things. And he also pointed out that he found actually some diamond on the planet as well. It seems to be almost entirely mountains, canyons, volcano or two, just a whole lot of flat, either really flat land or really high or really low land. So canyons, volcanoes, mountains, and plains essentially. Wastelands, really. That's about it. There's not really anything else. And the only suggestion he seems to have written down himself is maybe worth money if had like the correct supplies and systems. If you had some way to set up like basically a mining colony, you could probably get really freaking rich off it. Next in the off-planet potentials is Fume, the planet closest to Notre, the star. Fume has one large asteroid, which is known for being essentially worthless. Basically, at some point in the history, the planetary governor put a very large bounty, or bounty's probably the wrong word, but essentially a reward for exploring the rock essentially circling Fume. Someone managed it and got the reward. Thing is, that rock had absolutely jack shit on it. Peeved, or perhaps just not finding what he hoped to find, planetary governor immediately turned around and put another even larger sum on anyone who could bring back a at least semi-accurate reading of Fume itself. However, no one's managed to do that so far. The only thing they know about Fume for sure is it's probably really hot. No one's been dumb enough to try and explore it yet, and there is a large sum. We're thinking around the area of 15 profit factor here. Like a lot.
Oof.
Let's go land on it.
Oh yeah, that'll work out. No,
Let's
go land
our
on it. It'll be
big ship
awesome.
on it.
Fume is smaller than Quasimodo, but not by too much. And it has an atmosphere, but it's so thick you can't see anything except the fact that it is an atmosphere.
So it's like Venus, basically.
It is a lot like Venus, yes, but Venus isn't purple, so there you go.
A lot of
Venus-
things aren't.
Venus would be so much cooler if it was purple.
It would.
You wouldn't think that if it was purple.
Let's see. Believe there is... here we are. So there are 2 more notes. Atomixture's notes simply say that Atomixture itself, being a gas giant, very likely has some valuable, gases and other materials you could theoretically use if you're willing to pay for it for complicated mining equipment and, guard the sodding thing. unlikely to have anything on its surface, and it's also unlikely you could get to its surface. I mean, you could,
If it
maybe, but that's a large. You basically have to forward a lot of profit factor to get stuff out of this planet. However, Hybrid, its notable moon, it has a lot of minor asteroids, but the moon of note, Hybrid, is known for two things. One, they're pretty sure it's made of glass, or at least has glass, large supply of glass on its surface. No one's really landed on it. It's, like I said, outer rim, not really well explored. But recently, notably, there have been the long-range detectors they use to essentially know when the Imperium's coming for their payment, have managed to pick up something going on out there. The general immediate rumor is pirates, but there's no guarantee it is pirates or anything really. But whatever it is, it's been sort of blipping in and out and just kind of skipping by Hybrid specifically and then fucking off somewhere. So there's no obvious, like the governor hasn't placed any kind of reward for finding out what, but it's very likely if you found out, oh, it's orcs, they're going to invade the system, yeah, they'll probably pay you a hefty sum to, thank you for the information and please stay here and not have us all die. Whatever it is, it's worth knowing about as midpoint.
That sounds interesting.
Captain, you say your ship is quite fast, yes?
Reasonably so.
You would have finished reading this by the time you got to you probably just got to the elevator. It's more like a lift, though. Anyway.
Well, if only for the reason that someone has to speak up first, that one definitely sounds like it has the highest, or the lowest rather, risk-reward ratio. But I'm sure there could be very interesting wildlife on this planet that we could try our hands at hunting. We'll have air support, gesturing at Carnamord.
I do enjoy shooting deer from my spaceship.
Death Jungle. The deer here could probably fly and shoot flamethrowers at their eyes. So it's less of an unfair fight than you think it is.
Keep a flamethrower.
Hybrid might be a place to investigate once we have our supplies.
I'm not sure if I completely trust the flying skills after our landing. Trying to fly into a jungle.
True. To be fair, though, it is a death world, but there isn't a whole lot of jungle. It's closer to a pine forest, if anything.
Trees are trees, though.
Point. Not going to argue that one.
I think our first priority should be to find a medic.
I'm up for exploring Fume at some point. That sounds fun.
And the 15 profit factor.
That's the reward for getting a
accurate reading,
more or less, of the planet's surface. They don't want more pictures of the freaking purple planet. They have pictures of the sodding thing.
I like exploring.
You have every right. Just, you might want to be prepared if you're going to go visiting a planet that close to the sun.
We can figure this out once the ship is prepared.
Well, you have, as you said, between 1 and 3 days. 3 at maximum, 1 at minimum.
And just how much, in terms of time, the resources we have managed to requisition, how long will that sustain the crew?
You didn't ask him while you were there, but if it takes 1 to 3 days, minimum of a month. It'll sustain everyone a minimum of a month. If he's being generous or really good at packing things, 2 months.
Let's not assume, but there's a good chance of him being generous, just with the extra things we did for him.
Regardless, we have people that can find an inventory once we have it.
And if I remember right from our trip in, just for distance reference, a trip out to Hybrid would be between 1 and 2 weeks. Yes?
From where you are, a little less. If you start at one end of the system to the other, it is 3 weeks long. You're a bit closer than that at this point.
Okay.
If you had to guess, week and a half.
Righto.
But first, medic.
Yeah, a medic would be a good idea.
So let's check the on-planet notes again.
Yeah, this Desdemona's the kind of person that won't actually complain, but
She's bleeding through power armor. That's really enough for anyone to
Yeah.
take notice.
Yeah, there's a hole in it from a revolver, so you know. Alright then. It doesn't have a whole lot on medics. Really, the only big notes on it, all that special sauce stuff, you would presume that if someone is selling it or manufacturing it, they're selling it and manufacturing it primarily to the sort of people who are doctors and medics, so I guess you could ask who they sell to and go from there.
Mm.
Thing is, most, I'm going to call them doctors, even though that's not really accurate, doctors, finger quotes, would live on the highest level, not on the middle or lower levels. Well, maybe the middle or lower levels might have something you might call a doctor, but yeah, that's a risk.
well,
So-
if she needs to,
And you can't
there's-
just casually go up to the upper levels, by the way. You don't just get an elevator and up you go, huh?
well,
Does the
should
ship
I-
have a medical team?
No, actually, they do not have. At least they probably have at least a couple first aid kits, but nothing more advanced than that.
I think hiring a medical team should be one of our first priorities.
that should be.
Yeah.
But as
Well,
a-
that medical team would be just for you
goddamn it.
guys. You'd have to hire quite a few people in order to do the whole ship.
But we'd have the best survival rate of any ship in this system.
You would, yes. In fact, you have the best survival rate of any ship in the system, just because you're the only ship in the system, as far as you know.
Warp, speak.
Okay. Where is... I assume the higher levels are where the ecclesiarchy is here.
Yeah.
Then
I mean-
I should be able to at least find my way up there if I need to.
The ecclesiarchy likely has at least a little bit of a presence on the middle and lower levels. It's be a minor one, though. Like, they would be based in the upper.
Just saying, I might be able to find certain medical needs
Through that connection?
for the
Possibly.
local chapter.
Yeah, they would definitely have access to medical supplies.
At least until we get some sort of medical team.
Yep, getting a medical team, like I said, the only place they exist, again, would be the upper levels. You're not going to find the kind of medical team you want on the middle or lower levels.
So I don't think there's any problem with 3 of us going to the upper levels, because navigators are navigators. And I'm still with the Adeptus Mechanicus at the moment. If an explorer
The
door.
ecclesiarchy, Adeptus Mechanis, and Navigator's house here would likely let you up, but they would know. Like, if you go up to whatever it is that's guarding the elevators, stairs, whatever it is they use, you haven't been there, so you don't know. If you go up to them and say, oh, I want up there, I need to speak to the ecclesiarchy, or I invoke the right of the Adeptus Mechanicus, like, if you invoke that to get up there, they will know, and they're probably going to have your names. If nothing else. There's no way to sneakily do that, is my point.
Well, this wouldn't be a sneaky mission.
I don't know. I want you aware of what information you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta wave your badge to get in the door.
Mm-hmm. And being who you lot are, you know, if you start doing heretical shit, which
There's
technically
worse
you're
things I
already
can wave
doing,
at
but
'em.
you know.
Well, I kind of imagine, at least on Desdemona's end, it's not public knowledge and the records.
No, not here, but
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't
said.
be yet, no.
walk careful. Fly casual.
Oh, could I get an escort back to the ship? And well, then I guess I can learn to play cards with Carnivaud's flight crew.
Entirely an option. There's nothing to say you can't get up there as well if you have an excuse. You did use the servitor excuse once before.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how convincing you are and how much you wave your badge depends on whether or not they bother to really inspect you. I
Let's get
mean,
him a leash and say he's my pet.
they're at least going to go, let us see your weapons so we're sure they're not bombs, but other side of that.
Yeah, I'm not bringing a Xenos up there.
Fair enough.
I'm not bringing a Xenos up there.
It's alright, no one wants to bring the Xenos. So where is the Xenos
maybe
going
we
to
can try.
go?
Like I said, if I could get an escort back to the shuttle.
I will remind everyone, your ship is currently, according to the last known communication with the crew, impounded.
It might be best to only bring people that need to go up here, so we don't leave Skeff alone.
Let's split the party.
Pretty much.
Well, we're splitting it regardless. Whether we split it with one person alone or not, that just seems the worst decision.
I'll escort Sketh back to my ship.
Yeah.
I need to get it out of the impound anyway.
And then I can work on trying to get a medical crew for the ship while we're up there.
Fair enough. So the teams are going to be
I am available over ear whispery thing if you need me. Captain.
So the teams are Des and Sig, and Karn. The other team is Karnamond and Skith. Yes.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm sure my out-of-character ignorance of this setting will get me killed.
Probably.
It's okay. Everything here gets you killed. It really won't be any different.
He's got a point. Right. We'll start.
We should
with
just play
whatever's
Paranoia
closest. It looks like closest is actually going to be the what I call it, a stairway.
To heaven.
Yeah, kind of.
It takes 7 minutes to climb.
You wish. Closer to an hour. It's technically supposed to be an escalator, so you're not actually walking it. It still takes a while, though.
Would it be improper just to use my jump jets?
Yes, it would. Right. So the stairway to heaven, we'll call it that because why the fuck not, is guarded primarily by servitors with a few Imperial Guard kind of in charge. Pretty much as soon as you approach, they demand to know what you're doing. Like, what is your purpose here? The one talking to you is essentially whoever was closest. There doesn't seem to be any, like, in charge of the Imperial Guard officer sort. There's just 3 Imperials in charge of what looks like 6 servitors. Servitors being, well, I think I've already explained what they are, but these particular ones are semi-armed for combat. I mean, they have a weapon, so, they probably have at least the most basic programming of shoot the thing.
Right.
In terms of ecclesiarchy, Dez outranks me, so...
Right. Also, I'm assuming our notes didn't have anything about the upper levels in terms of political structure?
Yeah, it did, but it mostly noted a few houses of importance you could work for, theoretically, like... Who owns what? Was a lot
I'm mostly thinking names, like, local, like, sister chapels have names usually, so...
No, there was nothing on the ecclesiarchy in those notes, simply because why in God's name would he care?
Yeah, okay, then I'll... what lore we want on this? Probably not going to make it, but...
Common lore Imperium, and I'll also take just an intelligence check, because, well, you're part of the ecclesiarchy, even if you are a goddamn heretic.
Okay. So,
I'll make one too, then.
On the plus side, I picked up Common Lore Imperium because you're right, it's dumb I don't have it.
Yeah, you're gonna.
What happens when
there's at least one Imperial planet? It's gonna come up.
What happens when you're just rolling a straight characteristic test?
D100. The goal is the number of the characteristic, I think.
I thought it was less than that.
Well,
yeah,
I
it
don't
might be
know
less. Yeah, you don't know crap.
No, if you're just rolling the characteristic, it is the characteristic. If you're rolling a skill tied to it that you're not trained in, it's half the characteristic.
There
Or
you go.
none, depending on advanced or not.
Hey,
I believe I believe knowledges are actually advanced skills too. So
Yeah, if you don't have the knowledge, you can't roll on it.
So, Sig knows at least a little bit about the ecclesiarchy in general. Considering the planet and considering that you're not yourself, part of, your knowledge is a little limited. You're going to know that on this planet, they're not going to have anything more complicated than a chapel, like a central chapel. Honestly, Dez could just invoke the, I'm a sister of battle, I need to go pray, and they probably just let her through.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking anyway.
Because Sisters of Battle are known for They can pray anywhere, but if they ever have the option to pray in a proper chapel and do like the full ritual with the whips and the, screaming and pain and the yada yada, yeah, they're gonna do it. So her simply saying, I'm an off-planet sister of battle, let me the fuck in so I can go, like, atone for my sins, they'll, like, 90% of the time, they're gonna let her in. Heavily armed or not, because sister of battle.
Yeah, sister battles. If they're a battle sister, they're armed. Unless they're within the chapel itself.
Which is why you're going there, to unarm yourself so you can actually do your full ritual. More or less, yes. As for yourself, Sig, I will point out that you just automatically know you could claim you have... let's see. Well, no, you don't really have... You'd be lying if you said that, so what could you claim that you definitely have? Oh, you could claim that you just want to, like, share notes like the nerd you are with the other nerds and hope they just take that at face value.
Just claim I have business regarding the Adeptus Mechanicus.
More or less, yeah.
You must use the word nerd.
No.
You are a space nerd, but in all seriousness, unless you had some particular bit of machinery you wanted to share with them that you could just say, here's a piece of machinery I need to show them, and you kind of don't, but if you did, that'd get you in. As it stands, you're just kind of asking. Again, unless you want to lie or bluff your way through.
Well, either way, Desdemona's going first.
So who am I talking to here?
Likely, well, it's just Imperial Guard who was closest. He's flanked by servitors, but they're servitors. Business on the above. What's your business?
I am Seraphim Desdemona Theodocris. I seek atonement.
Yeah. What?
Just look at him.
Is atonement found upstairs?
Sig will step in. I am an explorer toward the Adeptus Mechanicus, traveling with her. This is the Sister of Battle.
Yeah, I recognize.
I need access to the chapel.
Oh, you could just said that. Yeah, go on. What about you? He looks at Sig.
I seek a medical team for my crew and information to share with the rest of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Alright, hold on, I'll ring it in. He essentially waves over to an Imperial Guard who walks over, hands him a box, and he turns away. You may use a... It is perception, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, perception. To try and listen in on this conversation.
Not my best roll. Nope.
Oh,
Okay
well,
then. Des has super ears.
Yeah, I guess she does. She quickly catches more or less the entire conversation with a roll like that. He essentially describes Sig to whoever's on the other line, and the other line is even more difficult to make out, but it seems like they're curious primarily. They don't... A tech priest coming out of space to just, share something is usually big news. They quickly request his name, and the Imperial Guard, of course, turns to Sig. You got a name? And,
Short pause.
whatever a house is.
That I don't even know how to character.
Oh, most Adeptus Mechanicus, they're not proper houses, but they're like I'm a tech priest from Mars. I was registered by this, and this, that sort of noise. If you have one, your connections aren't any good, so we'll waive that for now.
Okay, because I have no idea on that.
Yeah, that's a background thing, primarily. If it would come up, it would come up. However, you're probably so far away from where you were, I'm going to call it trained. Melded? I don't know. Moving on. Name.
Sigismund Leiklin, operating under a warrant of trade.
Oh, okay. He mentions that, and the other line immediately starts buzzing with curiosity questions and like, ooh, yes. Lots of little ramblings and excitedness, and they quickly demand that he practically be escorted to the Mechanist representatives. So the Imperial Guard sort of hangs up, looks to Sig. Yeah, we'll let you in, but I gotta go. I'm gonna have someone go with you. You're free to go up, miss. He sort of nods at Des and starts waving over another guy and shouting at him to go get this guy and wake up that guy. I don't care if it's his day off, kick him in the butt.
With much coarser language, I'm sure.
Probably not. If they swear too loudly this close to the upper levels, they might get tagged with something. Some sort of fine, probably.
True.
Is this Demolition Man?
Upper levels? Kinda. It'll make sense when you get there. Let's put it that way.
I think Desdemona will go up.
Yeah, you're free to go alone. However, Sig, you're going to have an escort, and they're going to want to take you straight to the Adeptus Mechanicus. How do you want to handle that?
That's not actually a problem at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
If it's not
yet.
a problem, it's not a problem. Then...
Yet.
He hasn't done anything really horrible yet.
No, he has plans to, but he's not done anything heretical yet.
Except hang out with the Xenos, but you know.
Pretty much, yeah. That's about it.
We smell it on you.
But of course, the Adeptus Mechanicus, that's not their jurisdiction.
True,
Like,
they
they
just
have
report
problems
you.
with it, sure. Yeah, they report you, but that's not like it's
They'll
like, oh, you
just
hung out the Xenos?
report you, and that's their entire involvement.
Yeah, you hung out the Xeno? Okay, we reported you to there. Now, will you tell us what you found before they come and take you away?
Yeah, seriously. Alright, let's see. Just going over. Here we go. Alright, do you want... Des, do you want to go with him while he's escorted, or are you just going to separate?
Well, I don't think... Yeah, I think she's separate. I think she kind of at least knows enough that she's not going to be privy to
Alright,
anything
let's
in
just
there.
split the party into fourths. Fuck
Well,
it.
the way it works,
Thirds.
that cult does not want her there.
No, it is not.
It is a cold and doesn't
And
want
just
anything to do with you.
likewise, they wouldn't want him there with
Yeah,
her.
this is
So
true. I'm just saying, you could have sat outside the door and twiddled your thumbs. Alright, so we'll split you both up. It is going to be a bit more of a walk, mostly because of security measures for you, Sig, so we're going to jump over to... Well, both of you technically need to do a bit of walking, so let's jump over to the other group for a bit. Right. Your ship has been impounded. I'm assuming you're still keeping yourselves, head down. How are you going to go about finding where it's been impounded? Now, there's a good chance it is just where you flew it. It just isn't allowed to fly off, but they could have moved it theoretically with,
Hey,
machinery.
Patches, did they move the ship?
I haven't left it, so maybe.
Well, you would have been able to see out the windows.
This thing has windows?
Yeah, the two small ones right in the front.
I see a wall.
You've been my co-pilot for 10 years. How do you not know this?
I've been keeping Gears and Scrappy from trying to murder each other over something stupid that Pouches did. I think he ate the last of the corpse starch on the ship. Or on the vessel. Not the whole ship, like this vessel. We're kind of hungry.
Okay, well, I need to know where you are so I can come claim the ship.
There hasn't been any, loud scraping noises or, heavy machinery sound, so I don't think they actually have moved us. I mean, unless they got a hover system or something.
Okay, fine. I'm heading back to where we landed the ship. I'll get you out of impound.
That'd been nice. I'm pretty sure they tried to, tear down the door, but we screamed loud enough and they left. They might think it's haunted.
Now, how do we explain you, my Xeno pal?
that's when everyone around them screams Xeno, and
I'm hoping he said it quieter than that. Otherwise, yeah, that's going to be the reaction.
I yelled Xeno and pointed at his face. No.
We
Okay, blasters are pulled.
we stop using the X word, first of all.
Yeah, you might want to stop using that word.
yeah, just shout Tau.
Okay,
That isn't helpful.
Okay, what are we going to do, my xylophone?
At that point, I think you just give him a look because you don't even know what his xylophone fucking is.
Well, if getting your ship out of impound, it seems the logical thing to do is first contact the port authority.
Yes, but what do we do about you? I'd sort of like you to not die. You seem cool enough.
Hmm.
It's likely the Port Authority is going to be a branch of the Imperial Guard, if nothing else. Or just the straight-up Imperial Guard, you know?
Well, I can hide aboard the shuttle, and I can have my rifle at the ready in case we need to scramble.
Yes, but we need to get to the shuttle. So I need to get it out of impound, and you're with me, so...
Well, we got away from the shuttle without me getting completely mobbed. I'm sure just keeping my my cowl up and my head down, we can get back aboard. For the very least, we can get close enough to find out who's guarding the ship that will prevent us from getting aboard.
I will remind you the reason your ship is impounded as well is not because you crashed, but because you kind of stood out there. Obviously, this is obvious when you first arrived. So they've impounded you because they suspect Xenos activity, not because they just didn't like the way you landed.
Well, I might be ignorant of the setting, but my character wouldn't be. Is there any reason why I would have a Xenos with me?
You are using him to harvest his, or he wouldn't have him alive at all. Even out here in the boondocks, like in the furthest reaches of the Imperium, any Xenos of any nature, even just mutations that aren't on the special list, like Salem witch tiles, burn at the stake, chop them into pieces, and immediately, like on site, almost every time.
So
the only possible exception is if you arrive in a big fucking ship full of Xenos and want to trade, in which case they trade with you because they don't want to be shot.
So basically, like, shoot on sight, he wouldn't even be able to really get away with, I caught him and now I'm taking him to claim his bounty type thing.
You could maybe pull that one off. Maybe, but you're in the wrong spot to do that. Had you just arrived on your ship and then used that excuse, yeah, you would have gotten away with it. But you're going to your ship with them, and
let's buy some flesh-colored makeup.
Oh, that's okay. Good luck finding that in the middle level.
Have you seen what their face looks like?
He has a picture.
My friend here is obviously Chinese.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know if you can be racist about that.
It's a Star Trek reference. Look it up.
Well, thinking of that, never mind skin. Let's find some reasonably clean oil and just pass me off as a grease monkey who's having an allergic reaction.
Do as thou will. I'm just going to eat this candy corn in half.
I'm already half covered in hobo smell, so...
You're not... Funny. I know. You're not actually a Xeno, you're a robot.
You already did the servitor thing. Worked once.
The same level of stupid will probably be usable for pretending to be a mechanic of no fixed description.
I know, but yeah, you're not actually a Xeno. You're a robot who I covered in the skin of a Xeno I killed.
That might be hard to pull off. Mostly because robots kind of don't exist.
Yeah, servitor's the best to get here.
Like the only proper robot that exists are servo skulls, and those are rare and only given to Adeptus Mechanis dudes and Inquisitors. Everything else is essentially a cyborg. There's lots of cyborgs.
Okay, you can be my brain-dead servitor that I made out of a Tau body I found.
That could actually you could maybe pull that one off. That's not impossible. It'd be weird, but...
Alright. Just in case then, you'd probably better hold on to this. And with great trepidation, I hand him my pistol.
Okie dokie. I am now holding your weapon. I will put that in a holster and not touch it.
For reference for you, as you, like I said, you don't know out of character, so here's some in-character knowledge. As this is a Tau weapon are, in almost every case, superior or at least on par, in like the worst case scenario, to current-day Imperium weaponry. Which translates into, this thing on your hip is worth a stupid amount of money to the Adeptus Mechanicus. So, just throwing that out there. This thing would be worth quite a lot to those guys. He kind of handed you he basically handed you enough money to get another ship. Not Void ship, like the ship you have.
Well,
You are not playing Lindahl. You are not going to kill me just to take my stuff.
even if I were playing Lindahl, he wouldn't do that.
He's lawful.
Of course, there might be problems if the party ever goes up against that dragon he's promised himself to.
Can't believe he tried to. I can't believe you're gonna marry a dragon. How weird.
No, it gets my soul when I die.
Also, I
reverse
think it was
marriage. Anyway.
established that it's a female dragon, so matron, not patron.
Moving on. How exactly do you want to approach doing this?
Oil up my face just to, pass basic muster, and
Alright.
I'm going to start
Yeah, we'll
moving stiffly
dirty
and
him up.
zombie-like.
Yeah, we'll dirty him up and have him act like my servitor.
How are you going to dirty him up?
We're still
By
in
that
the
I mean,
mid.
are you going to go buy some oil or just find some?
I will. This whole place is probably grimy as fuck. Just have
Oh,
him
yeah,
roll
totally.
around the place.
Alright, he just uses the random grime.
Rub
Excellent.
myself on some walls. Okay,
Rub yourself with some.
you must excuse my filthy hands, only I've just been washing my face. Carry on.
Okay, well, let's go
I
and
would
get my ship
appreciate a
back.
toughness check from the Tau.
Yeah, that's kind of expected. Yeah.
You
Cover
may be a
yourself in
Xeno, so
battery
you still get a
acid.
cold.
As soon as I'm on the wrong map, that's why I don't have the macro I'm looking for.
Actually, what's funny, I know why I'm giving you a toughness check, and it has less to do with how dirty it is and more to do with you have an open wound.
Yeah, well, that's just part of what happens.
Wow.
Well then,
I need to go look up space viruses.
You have space herpes.
You might.
good thing I'm getting a medical crew.
You can never get rid of harpies once they infest your basement.
Funny.
I can't
This thing
take
is always
credit
so
for
slow
it.
to
There
load.
was a whole episode of Hercules based around that stupid pun.
Okay, let's see. No, you're not going to mutate from this. That'd be funny, but no. Isn't that
As a
dirty?
navigator.
I have blessed you with my power. Ah, okay. This is... Alright here. Sorry, this is stuff I haven't really looked too deeply into, because I kind of didn't expect this route.
And now, for the benefit of the viewers, Tables, the game, aka Warhammer.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you see that MMO grinder on that Warhammer game?
I don't believe I have, actually.
Which one? The newer one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in beta right now. I'm not in yet, but I hope to be.
I know nothing about the setting, but the game itself looks neat.
Okay, alright, I figured it out. I don't know how you know this, and to be,
Just
I already
write
have
it down and let us know at an appropriate time.
Yeah, I guess fair enough. Well, your face is itchy, like really itchy, like bad itchy. Probably shouldn't have been rubbing grime in an open wound. Now that it comes to think of it.
Itchy, scratchy.
Good
Itchy,
question.
scratchy,
Scratch?
itchy, scratchy. Does he have fingernails?
Yeah, I have fingernails. Yes.
Are the fingernails made of something weird?
I'm pretty sure they're made of the same human fingernails are. They're not that. They're aliens, but they're not so far removed aliens.
That'd be awful weird considering we're hairless.
Yeah, fingernails are made out of hair. If they're hairless, their fingernails can't be made out of hair.
Are they hairless?
As far as everything I've read about them. Anyways, how
Well-
about getting to that shuttle?
Maybe they just only
I'm
grow their
pretty sure
hair
they
on their
have fingernails,
fingernails.
though. So if they have, I'm like 90%
They're
sure
made
they
of
do.
diamond.
Well, whatever their fingernails are made of, I'm pretty sure they have them, and they're probably made of something weird. Moving on.
They're made of the greater good.
Yes.
They're made of pure ether.
So after dirtying up your companion, you make your
I
way
dirtied
to
myself, thank you very much.
dirty yourself. Then your companion dirties himself.
Yeah, I'm not getting my
And-
hands dirty.
Appears to be having trouble not itching his wound. Occurs to you as well. You probably shouldn't have done that. Regardless, you head back to essentially where you semi-crashed your shuttle, and pretty much as soon as you head towards that particular part of the space dock, we're going to call it, and there's already like 2 Imperial guards just at the entrance, and you can tell there's probably more behind them. So how do you want to approach this? You need to get past them just to get to the people you need to talk to, which are probably going to be also Imperial Guard.
Well, I'm just going to have to try to talk my way through this.
Yep.
It's a good thing I put a whole bunch into deceive and charm.
Go for it. How would you like to approach?
Oh, I'll try a charm offensive. I'll just walk up and tell them
Flutter
that my
your
ship
eyes?
is impounded.
I shall keep a bit of a distance initially.
All right, so I need
Try
a
not to
disguise
draw
check
attention to
from
myself.
Sketh, and I need a charm check from Karn, and I also need to tell me, well, exactly what you're telling them.
Hello, fellow. I hear from my
Oh, God. Keep going.
I hear from my crew that my ship has been impounded. I would like to remedy this situation. Mine is 58, by the way.
The guards sort of nod at you, and one of them glances over. Well, this issue with that, Sketh, is there is no crowd around.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hang back so that I don't get immediately noticed.
Oh, I got bad news for you. Let me continue. They nod and seem to actually very well understand your situation. Yeah, I don't know. We understand. Thing is, we heard rumor that might be a Xenos. Wait a second. And one of them like sort of looks over, like right at Sketh and goes, "What the hell is wrong with that? What is that?" He like sort of starts lifting his lasgun.
Oh, that's just my. Oh, people must have mistaken my servitor for a Xenos. I made him from the body of a Tau that was dead on my ship. Fuck.
Oh boy. They narrow their eyes
Don't
a bit
make me
and go,
try to convincingly beep boop my way out of this.
I will allow. You do. He didn't like look right at you, so you know the jig might be up. So I will allow another disguise check as you attempt to act especially servitorial. Like you
There.
basically it's an acting check.
Alright, rolling versus my effective disguise of 40 to drool convincingly.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Okay, it's gonna be one of those.
Time to write up a new character.
All right. Well, one of them immediately shouts, Xeno, like just straight up, because Sketh made the unfortunate decision to try and act better by like wiping his face subconsciously, and just kind of, oh, hold on, they can't see my expression right. I gotta wipe my face. That's important for humans, right? And Xeno and the guns are out and roll initiative. God damn it.
D10 plus agility, right?
Yes. Yes.
5.
A 5 and a Carnivore. What's your...
I have an effective 5.
Okay.
So, yeah, that 5 I rolled, I have 10.
Going to roll for the guards. Actually, I'll let you guys see this one. Oh, whoops.
Oh my god, they got a 72
One
in
too
it.
many zeros.
Their initiative is really high.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, it is. They're guards. They're full-on Imperial guards with like las guns. They've got an okay agility to work with.
And here I handed Carnamard my gun in case I got searched on the way in.
Yeah, that's a problem. Out of character, I'm going to say... Actually, you know this in character. There's more guards behind them. They'll probably come running. Fleeing's a great idea.
Yep.
My
Okay,
plan was
bad
to
news.
run.
Quarter
Looks
of a
like
step
one of
ahead
them
of you.
beat-
Okay, hey, Patches, you're going to want to fight the ship out and come back later.
We'll get to that on your turn. You can't... When you have your turn, you can tell them to get the fuck out of Dodge. So, hold on.
I rolled a 10 and your guys didn't roll higher than me.
No, but they have an agility. Did you roll an actual full-on 10?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no.
No, you get a total of a 10.
Yes.
You rolled a 5. Yeah, you had a total of a 10. He rolled a
right.
9, adds... Right, so one guard beat you, and then you get to go.
I will be dead before my turn.
Well, no, he's going to be dead. Skith. Sorry, buddy.
They're not looking at you.
Yeah, you'll live for at least the first, guy. So I'm going to go look up what a las gun does to people's flesh, by the way.
Well, it's energy damage, so burns.
Melty, burny, explode.
Oops, I don't have that open. 1 second.
Not too much unlike the flamer. Just
Yeah,
way more
yeah.
precise.
The flamer's pretty precise, yeah. There we go. This is a
No, the
full-on
las
las
gun.
gun.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
flamer's
that's
more of
gonna
a
suck.
swath.
I don't think the las gun has any...
Lasgun, basic. Single, 3 burst, D10 plus 3 energy.
Is it semi-auto or full auto? It doesn't say on this.
Oh, it has single and semi.
Alright, semi it is. There's no reason to hold back. Alright. This is gonna suck to be you.
I am
Fail
aware.
the roll. Fail the roll.
Actually, I'll roll this one publicly to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh. Need to double check to make sure his numbers are right. I did not expect this.
He has a ballistics of 90.
Okay, no. They're not fucking Space Marines.
It's actually so funny in this because how las guns here are actually threatening, and on the tabletop they're kind of laughable.
On the tabletop, they're flashlights. Here,
Yeah.
you're gonna die.
Well, thanks for the expensive gun I can sell to repair my ship when it gets blown out of the sky trying to get back.
Yeah, FYI, that is a best quality Tau Pulse pistol.
It's worth a lot of money. I'm not kidding when saying I could just buy you another fucking ship.
Of course, even handling it is heresy.
Yeah, be careful of that. So, how's that ballistic skill roll coming?
Sorry, they're not giving me the just straight guy for some reason. This thing loads at the speed of not at all.
Yeah, I need to switch to a different PDF reader as well.
What are you using?
Foxit Reader.
Huh.
It has the benefit of being free and of loading pure text PDFs really well, but these image-heavy
So they're not that
ones,
bad.
it
Yeah,
just chucks
that's what I
from
use
page
too.
to page.
I'm just using Adobe's.
Good news! He missed. Even with the bonus for being semi-auto.
Yep.
So he opens up with the las gun, and he's firing from the hip, and like suddenly, so he's like no time to aim, so he just kind of sprays fire around you. It looks intimidating, and you probably brown your drawers, but you're not dead. That's a plus. Carnivore, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to signal Patches to fight the ship, to get the ship the fuck out of here, and back to the void ship.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll
That's
have
a
a
freebie.
different.
You can just tell him that, no problem.
We'll have a different ship come back to pick us up later if we can get out of this.
And now I need to fucking roll fucking shit on their end.
As
Yeah,
for
well,
me, I'm going to run the fuck away.
Okay, running the fuck away. Fair enough. Straight line into a crowd, or are you trying to duck into an alleyway?
Oh, I can run straight into the crowd. I'm from a hive world. They're not difficult terrain for me.
Ah, okay, so you are able to just get straight in there. The crowd has obviously like thrown their hands up and screamed like collectively, but you get right in there because you just know how to move. This is no problem for you. You're used to this kind of crowd.
Yeah,
So,
and movement's agility based, right?
Correct.
So,
Considering
I
they're
can
not
move-
difficult terrain.
Yeah, I can move. Well, so that means my basic move is 4. I'm going to do a full run.
Okay, so that's 8 meters. Zip.
No, I'm not double moving. I'm doing a full run.
Oh, right, and it works the same way as Pathfinder, doesn't it? So that's a lot further away.
12 or
I'll
16
have
meters.
to look it up, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
honestly,
spend
even 8 meters is far enough. You're so deep into the crowd. The issue is not you're far away. The issue is if they try and shoot at you, they'll probably kill people in the crowd. Whether or not they care is another matter, but the chances of you being hit are very low.
Yes, but I just need to see how far away I can get.
Tablet of meat.
Okay, now the other one gets to try and shoot poor Scath in the face. Oh, boy. Same
Sorry,
roll.
Scath.
Well, that was going to happen.
And that's 3 degrees, so that's all 3 hits.
Sorry. Welcome to fucking...
Roll dodge.
What's
Yeah,
the hit
you do
location?
actually get a dodge check.
You
may
should
try and roll.
dodge.
Of course
You
I'm going
might-
to dodge, but roll the
I
hit.
will remind you, you can burn fate points to live.
Or just
Uh,
spend one.
A spend one lets him re-roll the dodge. Doesn't make it mean he's going to live.
Yeah.
Well, let's determine what he's going to do. So I'm presuming you want to roll dodge first, but we determine if you spend anything.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
My effective dodge is 12.
Oh God.
Nope. So you have
No
failed to
training
dodge.
in it, and it's agility based.
Oh man.
That is not my skill.
Right, so you have failed to dodge. How many degrees? They said it
would-
was 3 degrees of success? Yeah, so that's just the 2 hits then. Alrighty, so that's 2 hits.
Oh, right. For every 2 degrees, you get an additional
Uh-huh.
hit.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's 2
so-
hits in.
Just for the record, run means I got to move triple, and they take a negative 20 if they're going to try to hit me.
Well, on top of the already in a huge fucking crowd.
Yep.
There's no way they're hitting you without first shooting some other people in the way.
Yep.
So you're out of this scot-free. Good on you.
Grenade!
Grenade might do it.
Carry on.
Yeah, this is just the last gun, so that's a D10 plus 3 energy for each hit. So that's how many wounds you're going to take. Looks to be 21.
Don't forget armor and toughness bonus.
Correct. You may minus your armor and toughness bonus from the total of 21.
From the total, not from each hit.
Oh, from each hit.
Is it from each hit?
Yeah, it is from each hit. Actually, I need to double check where they've hit. So,
Yep.
hold on. I have it right here. Technically, it was both a 10, so they've hit the same spot, so... Wow, he nailed you in the head twice. That sucks ass.
Are you sure? Doesn't it work differently for multiple hits?
Each one... yeah, I'll tell you what. He's hit, but I'll roll to see if the other one hits.
No. There's a way that this works.
Yeah, it says right there in the semi-auto fire action where the additional hits hit.
I actually have the GM's one open because it has a lot more. Oh, no, here it is.
Okay, yeah, but the second hit does hit the head of the first
Yeah, no, second one,
hit,
head, yeah. Both go to your head.
so- Yeah, I'm just checking something now.
Location head, location second is head, third is arm, fourth is body, fifth is arm, and each additional hit is body after. Yeah, so it's head, because he got you in the head. So both shots in the noodle. So what's your armor on the noodle?
0.
Checking
Cool.
something. Hold
What's your
on.
toughness?
Hold on a second, would you?
Okay, fine. This one tits up so goddamn fast.
Maybe we should have just called a second ship.
And that's also an option.
I think it's total damage you reduce by toughness and armor.
I think we discussed this at some point. I'm going to rule since it is 2 separate shots. Like, you might be hitting the same spot.
Yeah, but they came from the same action.
Yeah, I swear we had this discussion, and I ruled that you get it each shot regardless, because there's no way you could accurately hit the same exact spot on somebody. Even with 2 shots, especially from a solid semi-automatic, even if he's only a meter away. I'm 90% sure I ruled that each shot gets your armor and your toughness, because there's just no way to hit someone so accurately you get it in the like, I think I used her armor as an example. He can't shoot both shots into the same bullet hole.
See, the weird thing is, I would agree, but then if you look at the dual shot talent, it says some really weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the way it's worded in there, if you hit with a dual shot, the target's armor is applied to normal both hits individually, but toughness only counts once against the combined damage, which implies that it doesn't. So it's applied normally, and then...
Games Workshop is really
I think
commonly
toughness does work
that.
on both.
Yeah, I'm going to say toughness works on both. Dual shot lets you get around that, I think.
Yeah, dual shot lets you hit a high toughness opponent easier.
Yeah, so we're going to say he gets toughness both times, because that thing directly implies that.
Righto, my toughness mod is 2.
So you
Cool,
take
so
-4 from that.
10, and yeah, -4 for the total. 17 wounds still.
Yeah, 6 will get me to my total wound allowance.
Would you like me to start rolling on the critical thing?
That
It's not a
depends.
roll, it's how many it goes over his wound total, which would be 11.
Which means
Yeah,
he
where's the-
instantly dies.
Oh, cool. You're instantly dead. Do you want to burn some fate points and not be?
I may as well burn a. Is it a point or 2 points?
1.
Just the one.
Burning it permanently.
Yeah, gone
Burning
forever.
permanently 1 point in order to at least get a turn and try and survive.
Can I say what would happen if you didn't do that?
Yes.
Superheated by the attack, the target's brain explodes, tearing apart his skull and sending flaming chunks of meat flying at those nearby. Except your entire body catches fire, runs off headless, 2d10 meters in a random direction. Anything flammable it passes must make an agility test or catch fire.
You mean like all the oil that will be flying off of my exploded
Yes.
head?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. As much as that
You probably
sounds
actually managed to kill the
amazing-
2 guards by doing that, to be completely honest.
As much as that sounds amazing, I would like to bank on the opportunity for future role-playing attempts instead of cashing in on this one.
Admittedly, that's a great way to go.
Exploding
headless
brain.
chicken.
Anyways, fate point burned.
Okay, mark a fate point permanently off your thing,
Yep,
and you
I
survive by virtue
I-
of ducking.
I now have 2 out of 3 fate points.
Did you have 4 out of...
I had 4
4
previous.
max. So you had 4 max, now you have 3 maximum, and in sheer desperation, as the barrel is lifted toward you, you dive bomb for the floor. Just instinct takes over, and the universe smiles upon you this one time.
Do you
Right.
have to do that multiple times of combat, or is that limited?
Burning? You can burn as many as you want, as often as you want. It's just a matter of whether or not I allow it, and whether
They
or not it
don't
makes
come
sense.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't come back. You would run
I'm
out.
just jealous. I only got 1 fate point.
Yeah, that's bad news, because if you ever get in a problem where you need to live...
You think that's bad news? I have talents that directly based around using fate points.
Not my fault you rolled, bitch.
Eh.
I have
To be-
4.
Blame RNG, you asshole.
Half of my starting talents only work if I'm standing beside other Tau, so we're all in these buckets.
Yeah.
Welcome to the bucket of you could have played an orc. They have no drawbacks. They're fucking orcs.
So my next character is a Shadow Mage.
Log.
Do I get a turn next?
Yes, it is your turn. They have
Hey.
both fired. You can definitely hear more boots, like, tromping. They're not going to roll initiative just yet, but they're going to be here.
I am going to attempt to GTFO into the crowd.
The crowd counts as difficult terrain, so how far can you go?
That depends. Remind me if I use the fall panic as though my pants are on fire run, how far do I get?
Triple your normal.
Triple my
Okay,
agility mod?
I was just
Mhm.
looking this up here.
Okay.
If you burn a fate point, the thing that killed you still hit you, and you're almost dead.
Well, they still count.
Okay, so I still take the wounds, but they.
So you take 5 wounds, I guess, or does it count? Does it go to 0 and you're still alive?
You're basically at
For
your
example, if
maximum
you
wounds.
actually that's the example here. If the explorer was shot with a las cannon and suffered a critical hit that would have killed him, instead he is only hideously burnt and rendered unconscious with 0 wounds.
Ah, okay, so you're just unconscious. Nice. I will allow you to spend a hero. Listen, damn, I keep calling them hero points. Spend a fate point, like not burn, spend
Yep.
to be conscious. Because I'm not an asshole. Because let's
To
be
be
fair, if you
conscious
were
at
unconscious,
10
they just shoot you in the face.
Yeah, to be conscious at 10 wounds instead of at 10 wounds plus that critical killing blow, or what?
Oh, I'll allow you to for a hero.
Fate.
Fate, I keep calling him hero. Sorry.
He should probably just be at 1. Since
Yeah,
it
I'm
hit him.
thinking just 1 because I'm letting you be conscious for a point. You burned 1 to not die, so yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, you have to be, because to be fully back up, that's actually a different talent.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So you're conscious at 1 wound, I suppose.
So you're going to have to spend your turn getting up and then trying to hide into the crowd.
More or less, yes.
Roger that.
Also, I'm going to point out your face is. You're going to start losing fucking
yeah.
like.
Soon I won't be recognizable as a Xeno. This can only work in my favor.
I'm going to start making you take penalties on like fucking charm and shit.
Just
Your
wear a
intimidate's
mask.
up though.
I'm just ugly. Trust me. Nothing worse than that.
Yeah, this actually might work in your favor after this.
I mean, your
Okay.
intimidate will go up. Just saying.
So I'm guessing. So my normal movement speed, is that just my agility mod, or is it twice that? Because it sounded like it was twice when Carnamont moved.
Your normal movement is your agility. If you double move in a turn, you can. It's just like Pathfinder
okay.
with it. So yeah.
It's just when you
Okay.
run, it's triple. That's the only difference.
All right. Well, I guess
I will point out that you don't have to dive into the crowd. There are alleyways you could try and take to lose them in.
Yeah, I was getting the impression from your description that we're in an access hallway, and that there aren't alleys off of that.
There's alleys everywhere in the middle level. Technically speaking, the closest there is an alley within 3 meters of you that you could try and take. There are other ones, but they're further away than that. That's the closest.
Okay.
You'd probably have an easier time disappearing into the crowd.
Most likely, I just presenting options.
Yep. How
Because
far
I'll
is the
put this
crowd?
out. If he goes
How,
in the
how
alley,
far is the crowd?
oh, only like 2 meters, like if that. I'm gonna say I'd say 1.5 meters, but there's no half, so.
Okay. My agility is 2. I would like to get into the crowd.
Fair enough. You're in the crowd.
Now the crowd moves. Now the crowd takes their turn and disperses from you.
Kinda. Yeah, they're gonna try. The good news is they can't move quickly, so they actually don't get entirely out of the way. I'm just looking up what kind of cover they're going to grant him before I start shooting at him some more.
This is the point in any GURPS player's career when they first flip to that one page in the GURPS manual that spells out in actually quite saddening terms that the DR offered by a human body is equal to their current HP total divided by 10.
Awesome.
Okay, I've got a number to work with.
Yeah.
Alright then, I have a number to work with, so I'm going to start shooting you. The good news is, well, bad news is others show up. At least 3 other guard are muscling their way, like, into, like, view, essentially. Shouting like, Xenos, death to the heresy, and yada yada, usual Imperial stuff. And the 2 who are still there are just, apparently they don't give a fuck, because they're shooting. How much of a fuck do they actually give about this crowd? Hold on. Absolutely none. Semi-auto it is. They don't give a damn.
They failed their fellowship test.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Carry on.
nail on the head. They failed it. They want you dead. And then, again, I will roll these publicly for your sake.
Yep. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Good news. First guy is missed. Second guy. Missed also, but actually he's semi-auto, but you have cover, so let me just check something. Cover
Did you
reduces the
forget
damage,
to
I know,
include
but
the plus 10?
Yeah, I'm not... So, including the plus 10, he's hit you on that
Right.
second one.
Does your
But
pistol do auto?
Huh?
Does the pistol he gave me do an auto burst?
It does. It will do a 2-round semi-auto burst.
I needed auto. I was gonna try to help you out with suppressing fire, but you need a weapon capable of auto.
Okay, now I need to check something else.
Yeah, it will do burst. It will not do full auto. Here,
Here,
let me
lucky
paste
son
you
of
the
a bitch,
stat
you know that?
block.
I rolled to see how the crowd was, like, how far the crowd moved, if they moved at all, that kind of thing, because, again, crowds have trouble moving. And, yeah, his shot would normally have hit you. Instead, it nails someone who's in the way and kills him fucking dead. So, that guy's dead, but you're alive. Lucky. So, that makes it your turn, Skith. Actually, technically, Karn, I'm assuming, Karn, you're still running and have no reason to stop.
I think he's considering other options just now.
Alright, I will allow you to... Well, Skith, what do you do? Karn, you may act at any point if you're doing something.
But yeah, that's why I was hoping his weapon had full auto so I could help him out by doing suppressing fire and making all of them cower.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I won't lie.
I need to see what I can do with fate points.
I
will definitely spend one to
would
help him, but I
allow
won't burn
using
one.
a fate point to basically overcharge this Tao's gun to make it full auto for just a round. Spending a point to do that. However, it runs the risk of damaging the gun.
Hey, he doesn't know how the damn thing works anyways. Damage is possible.
Yeah, I know. I'm throwing that.
Yep.
Throwing you a bone, goddammit.
Can I do that with my own gun?
As long as it's a semi-auto gun, yes. It has to at least be semi-auto in order to overcharge it to that capacity.
I have a best quality Hellfire las pistol.
Okay then, you may overcharge the shit out of that to do suppressing fire if you wish.
Does he scream suppressing fire as he does it?
I hope so.
Okay, I just need to see how this actually works, but I will spend one of my 4 fate points on this.
Okay. Point spent.
My jealousy is rising.
Well, he is a scion. They need a lot of them, otherwise they'll just kill themselves with their own powers.
I also rolled the best I could on my roll.
I know. I'm regretting my background choice though, because it's like the only one that could have rolled a 1 fate point result.
Ouch. Carry on.
So this requires a weapon capable of fully automatic fire. Okay, so when suppressing fire is declared, the active character establishes a kill zone, which is any general area such as a corridor or tree line that encompasses a 45-degree arc in the direction the active character is firing. So yes, I'm encompassing all of them.
Hold on, I got... how... Are you just shooting through the crowd and murdering anyone stupid enough to be in the way, or are you going to get, like, on a box or something? Because you're in the crowd. Like, you're in there. So...
Oh, I don't care about them.
Okay, mow them down. Fine, whatever. Morality's for chumps.
We're the good guys.
No, you're fucking not.
You're the alive guys, and we're trying to stay that way.
Yeah, you're the alive guys. That's about all it's going for you. Hey, fuck them.
I care about this. I care about this Xeno who saved me on my ship.
Okay, what I need to do is you need to make a ballistic skill test at a penalty. I have the thing right here, and I'm going to assign it to mostly the crowd, but we'll see. I will roll randomly to see who's hit, but there's a lot of people, and most of it's the crowd. So please roll me a ballistic skill test to hit the things. Maybe all the things. Maybe none of the things.
Yeah, so luckily I wasn't trying to kill anybody because I don't have a good ballistic score.
You're just firing in the air.
My ballistics is 34.
Gone. Yeah.
Nice.
You just spray fire in the air, screaming your head off, and it looks scary.
Falado does give you a bonus, but probably not a high enough. But
It gives you a plus 20 bonus.
But he's using suppressive fire. Does he get that? Technically, it's not a full auto weapon. You're just using.
Oh no,
I would
no,
argue
no.
that you're just
no,
using
I'm making that at a negative 20 to determine if that hits anybody.
Oh.
So
yeah. So it automatically would cancel itself out, I guess.
no, I'm making a hard test at negative 20, which means that was actually against my ballistic skill at 14.
Ah, well, there you are then.
gotcha.
Okay, sense made.
But it's still suppressing fire.
Yeah, no, it's still suppressing fire, so they're gonna have to make willpower tests or become
Yeah, but I
pinned.
rolled a 4, so I hit
Yeah.
something.
You rolled a 40. 1d100.
Oh, sorry,
40.
I'm rolling at the wrong thing. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's the confusing part of that particular. So I need
My
to
bad.
check, see if anyone's pinned. Let's see, there's 5 of them.
They make
Versus
a hard test.
willpower. Let's see. Okay, the willpower could be better.
Hard is minus 20, yeah?
At a minus
Yep.
20, you said?
That's the
So
normal
it's 5.
difficulty for pinning.
Looks like 2 of them made it. Actually, no one made it because it's a negative 20, so never mind, they're screwed.
One of them made it. That
One of them
7's
made it.
below 10.
Oh, yeah, good point. So one of them is not pinned. However, everyone else is.
While
As
pinned,
you-
you can only take half actions and a minus 20 to all ballistics.
Very, very unlikely he's going to hit you as this one guy. Oh, this one guy might.
But you can escape being pinned with a plus 30 willpower test.
Yep. Okay, so they've been suppressive fire. You're here.
That will give me a round to get away. Thank you.
You're welcome, and now I'm going to continue running the fuck away. I can't right now, but on
But
my
you
next
will.
turn.
Okay, so
And I
let's
continue
see.
to run away on my turn, as best as I can through this crowd.
Let me just double check the initiative. It looks like 3 guards get to shoot at you. Scath before, yeah, looks like 3. Luckily for you, 3 of the guards, only 3 of them beat you. The other 2 did not. So 3 guards get to go. Then it'll be Scath's turn, and Carnamore, you go after the first 2. So first 2 guards who get to go before anyone. These 2 are pinned. The only guy who made it actually goes last. Lol. Or no, third to last. So yeah, sorry, I rolled them in order, so that means yeah. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so this one is pinned. So shit.
I'm just
Only
looking
half
up what
actions.
pinning actually does to them. So yeah, they can only do half actions, so they can't actually attack because that's a standard.
Yeah, they have
You
to
can take
go
a single
for...
shot, it's a half action.
Yeah,
Just get-
they're gonna roll willpower to get unpinned. I guess would be the first thing. I don't know if that's an action though.
That's what you
they
do
have
at
to
the
do-
end
They
of
have
each
to do that
turn
at the
while
end
you're
of their
pinned.
turn. Yeah.
Okay then.
First paragraph, next page.
Right then. So they're just gonna take a shot. So 3 of them get to actually 2 of them get to shoot. Then Carnamore can act. Then another shoots. Then Scath. All right. Yeah, no, not hitting the broadside of a wall today. Okay, Carnamore, you may act.
Where is he relative to me?
You got a lot of distance in that crowd, and he's only like on the edges of it. You went how far again on your first move? 8 meters?
12.
12 meters, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's like 10 meters away, I believe. Yeah, 10 meters.
Yep, ish.
10 and a half, 9 and a half, around there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at actions to see if there's anything else I can do to help.
Suppressing fire certainly helped. Also, I need to roll will saves for those 2.
Wait, did Keth have a turn?
He's about to after one more guy shoots.
Hmm.
And that's the last turn. Yes, he did. One of them unpinned himself. Good for him.
Is it really a plus? willpower?
That's me knowing that's because it's an easier check to get unpinned.
Easy is plus 30, not plus 20.
No, not actual easy. It's a whatever. It's a plus 20. I know that. It's called something.
I'm looking at page
Routine.
249.
To get unpinned, it's very hard. Minus 30.
Yeah, it's minus, not plus.
Oh, I'm dumb. Screw it. They're both pinned then. Moving on.
Yep.
Wow, pinning fire is really good. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's my turn, I've got nothing else I can do to help him. I'm gonna get the fuck out of Dodge and tell him, and I'll tell him, and we'll get back into contact once I get out of here.
Okay, Dodge left. Okay, one more
Good
gets
go.
a shot. Unfortunately, this is the one guy who's not pinned, so
Yep.
let's hope he rolls crap.
I've still got this ablative crowd. Hopefully, maybe
Oh
a
dear.
little.
Okay, checking on the crowd. This is mostly the crowd dodge check, which is not a very good one.
Yep.
Okay, he's nailed the crowd, but he's had 2 shots. He's definitely going to point the other one at you, so I need to roll for the crowd again. Okay, this one might actually hit you. Let's see. Well, let's find out where it's hitting.
You said a piece of armor this time.
Yeah, it'd be nice, isn't it? 19 becomes 91, which becomes your left leg. It's going for the left leg. What's your armor like?
My armor there is 3.
Okay, 3 plus your toughness, and I suppose we should actually roll.
And he rolls max. No.
No, just a 7.
Which does mean 2. Past your stuff.
Yeah, so that is a critical hit. 1 past my wound limit.
Okay, let's figure out what happens.
1 past your wound limit?
Yep.
He is
So
sitting at
energy
1
1.
wound right now. Yeah.
That would take me to 11 damage. I have 10 wounds, so I think that takes me to 10 and now 1 point of critical.
Yes,
What I remember-
That is a critical damage 1 to the leg with an
Left
energy
leg.
weapon. Doesn't
Yep.
matter which leg. A blow to the leg leaves the target gasping for air. The target gains 1 level of fatigue.
There you go then.
Roger that.
Fatigue does suck, though.
It
Yeah,
does.
I reckon.
Sorry, Scath. I did everything I could to help you.
Yes, you have. Carry on.
Welcome to a very lethal system. Don't fuck up.
Yep.
Right.
If you were light
oh,
enough, I'd
Scath,
grab
you
you
get
and
to-
carry you off. But
It
Scath,
does-
you get to limp away for victory.
Yes, does fatigue slow down my run speed by any measurable amount?
It might. Double checking.
You get a minus 10 penalty to all tests.
Okay.
just do a full run then. You'll only get 6, but they'll take penalties to hit you, and you'll be deep into the crowd.
Yep.
This
Oh,
is
wait.
true.
The crowd's difficult
Difficult
terrain for him, so I don't think you can do a full run on it.
No, he cannot. He
And
may
you can
double
take
move.
you can take a number of levels of fatigue equal to your toughness bonus. After that, you're unconscious.
Right, so next fatigue point, I'm down.
You are so close to having to burn another one just to live.
Yep, okay. Double move through the crowd, and once I'm...
What is your agility? Because it's
My-
difficult, so you have it. Well, you don't have your agility. You have how far you go. Like, Pathfinder.
then
That
I
brings him
double
to
move
1.
and get 2 meters.
Wow.
Fortunately, in another 4
They
meters
might
or
actually
so,
just kill their way through the crowd enough to get to you.
in another
this
4
rate.
meters or so, I should be able to just start blending into the crowd with any luck, and look
There might
like
not be
part
a
of the
crowd
fleeing
left. They might
crowd.
just kill their way through it to you.
Yeah, that depends on whether or not they're worried about their reputation with the masses. But
I'm sorry, what universe are you in? I'm in the 40k universe where they casually will mow down an entire planet for having one too many mutations.
point.
Which is
But they
usually
have to
one.
get authorization for that.
True,
Well,
they usually have to get
Or an
authorization.
Inquisitor just shows up.
Or yeah, an Inquisitor just shows up and is like, yeah, fuck this place. It's fucking pizza was
Wait,
terrible.
I just had a thought.
Mm.
My ship's just on the other side of a door over there, isn't it?
Not anymore, actually. They have successfully shot the shit out of a couple Imperial guards and some mechanics, and are trying to, in the process of taking off, let's call it.
Okay. I'm just because I should have thought of this on my turn, I'm going to contact Patches there, have him start firing into the hallway, so hopefully he can clear some of these guys out for
Actually,
us.
you kind of already did. Half of the group in the hallway went to you guys. That's why only like 3 showed up. And the other like 4 went to the ship and got mowed down. So he
Okay,
kind of
good.
already did that.
Keep fire. Well, I'm gonna have them keep firing into the hallway with the ship's weapons until they actually leave that.
Just to hope for a miracle shot. Okay, I'll roll for it. I'll roll for it. It's just, he'd have to roll like a 5.
Well, let's hope that's helpful.
It'll remind them that you are shooting at them with a ship. All right, so 2 others get to take their shots. They're still pinned, so let's see what happens. Actually, did I do a willpower for this guy? Yeah, the one who hit you has this rolls willpower.
How long do they remain pinned for, though?
Just until they succeed at the release from pin test.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're actually stuck like that for a bit.
Yep.
Is he done? Has he stopped firing?
I don't know. Stick your head down. All right. He failed. So moving on. The other 2 fellows. And they'll never make the one shot. Nope. So laser fire scorches the air behind you, but nothing happens as the other 3 ahead. Other 2. Then we'll get to Carnivore. Though I think he's just fucked off. These guys are pinned, so they only get the one shot. Well, looks like one of them. Let's see what the crowd does.
Closes like the Red Sea after the escape.
Holy shit, the crowd made their dodge check. Bad news. Looks like someone's gonna hit you again. Make your dodge check, please.
At a minus
Skiff.
10.
Yeah, Sketh is pretty hard screwed here.
Alright, here's my dodge skill of 2.
Nope. Alright, let's see where...
you got it on the D2.
Yes.
71. Where's a 71 hit you? 71 nicks you in the right leg. Yeah, they're taking your legs off.
If it's low enough damage.
Nah.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Alright, that's a 12-point crit.
I think that's my leg is blown off. Oh, God.
What about your armor and toughness?
Toughness and armor
That-
still.
Oh, pardon me. That is a 7-point crit.
Well, it's not instant death.
It's not instant death.
Woo! You might
Hey,
get a
look
new
at
leg,
these
though.
fate points I don't need to really hold on to.
Well, what
Is
can
there
I
anything you
with
can do
fate?
that isn't burning one?
He could reroll his dodge. I will allow that.
That is not efficient.
That's not a good idea.
2% chance. Come on.
Fuck off. How far am I willing to stretch on
You can
this?
instantly remove 1d5 damage by spending a fate point.
Yeah, there you go. If that's written down, I would totally allow that.
I
You're
can
sitting at
still
7.
I can still burn spent fate points, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Couldn't he use one to manipulate the way the crowd's moving so he can blend into them?
I will allow that, actually. I will allow you to spend a fate point for me to reroll the crowd's dodge check. So maybe they fail it and take this bullet for you.
I feel the crowd move and try to fall with and try to dodge with them. Make the crowd re-roll their check. I will not
All
Make
right.
someone else die for me,
last
please.
spendable fate point.
I'm just going to have you grab
Yeah, after
like
this,
an
you're
old
gonna have to
lady
be
and just like
burning them.
shield yourself.
I am now at 0 out of 3 fate points.
Good news! The old lady can't dodge worth a damn. She is incinerated instantly. You're holding a pile of ash. Alright,
welcome,
let's
to
see.
welcome to human society, Sketh. How do you enjoy it?
Okay,
Tastes
Carnival,
like
you have an
chicken.
action? I'm assuming you just keep running. You're pretty far off at this point. I think you're, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna duck into an alley once I get sufficiently far away. I'm already.
At this point,
I've done
you're
2 full
gone.
runs. That's 24.
Yeah, you're gone. They don't care. You gone.
So,
So
yeah,
one more shot versus
hey,
Sketh before he gets his
yeah.
turn.
No, hey Pat. So this is what I'm gonna tell Patches to start firing into the hallway with the ship's guns until he leaves.
He gets one more Slavo in. I'll go calculate that real quick.
Sal.
Yeah. Try to draw their fire, or
Oh,
or
wow.
our new friend's going
Okay,
to die.
he'll tell you later that he tried, but Which one is it? Patches, I think, is one of your gunners? Yeah, Patches.
Patches the co-pilot.
Patches,
sorry.
Patches is my pilot. My
Let me write this crap down again.
Gunners are Scrappy and Pouches.
yeah, Scrappy and Pouches. Pouches and Patches are twin brothers.
Great.
Okay, hold on. Where'd I put it? Yeah, here, player knowledge.
These aren't their real names; they're nicknames I gave them.
Honestly, I kind of was hoping that was their real names.
What was the names? Patches for co-pilot.
Patches is he's the pilot when I'm not there. So
Okay, and the others?
Gears is the engineer. Scrappy and Pouches are the gunners.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll a d2. Looks like Pouchy's to blame. Pouchy, while firing the guns frantically, managed to roll an 100 on his, gun and jam the fuck out of it.
Ah, God.
Sorry, that happened. They missed a shit ton, though. Don't worry. They missed a shit ton. One of them just jammed. I'll determine which gun. It's probably going to be the starboard side one, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
Anyway.
they can fix that. It's not a big deal, but it doesn't help me now.
What was I up to? Yes, I need
You
to
were
roll.
going to make one more shot at me before I get my next running turn.
Neither of them make their pinning, and here's the guy who fucking isn't pinned.
That guy. Just gotta be that guy.
Here we go. Yes, he has missed. Skith, what do you do to live today?
I limp at 2 meters per round.
Alright, at this point, since they have not moved, they've basically just been standing there opening fire every turn and murdering... I think we're up to 3 dozen dead people? Anyway, murdering just everyone. I will now allow you to attempt to blend to the crowd as per your ability.
Here we
Basically,
go.
a disguise check to just look like a hobo.
Disguise is not directly relevant here. It's deceive.
Deceive, sorry.
Yeah, because they can't really see my face at this point. I'm just trying to move like the crowd does.
Yeah, disguise is the open one, and deceive is the solid. It's
I
This
don't
system
think
still
moving
takes
like
a
a
bit.
terrified person who's getting shot at should be too hard.
no,
it
it's not.
probably
It's-
isn't. No. So
And you're
even,
scorched enough in the face to actually not look too Xeno, so plus.
yeah, so with the -10 that fatigue gives me, this is versus 70.
Wow.
Son of
Are
a
you fucking kidding me?
At
Wow,
least it's not
this
a
system wants you
71.
fucking
That would be just twisting.
Maybe
the
if you're lucky,
knife.
it's a positive bonus.
He's right. It's actually a +10 to it's a what's the term I'm looking for? Routine check. Routine. This is a routine. Is that right? No, ordinary. This is an ordinary check because you're trying to act like a panicked human, and frankly, you've been shot in the legs twice and in the face twice. Yeah, you're pretty panicked. It's not much of an acting job.
Excellent.
You pass. By skin of your teeth, but you pass.
That bullet skinned my teeth. I didn't even have skin there before. What the hell?
Well, now you do.
That is weird alien biology.
It must be
Yes.
someone else's skin the bullet brought through.
Quite
Oh,
possible.
I just assumed your species grew skin on their teeth when they got stressed.
Well, regardless, at this point, I'm just going to need 2 more checks from you, Skith. Same, both deceives, to remain hidden as they basically fan through the crowd looking for you. Wow. Really?
Really. The dice love me just that much.
You rolled so shit.
I'm making up for all those ones I rolled during our first session.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy. I did everything I could.
They
to
stay
help.
on your ass. They continue pursuing your poor, slow, burned to shit ass. Oh God. Okay.
I have a feeling
Okay.
you're going to be burning more fate points.
You might have to. Okay. There's 2 options readily available to you right now because you're in a panic state and you're just sprinting for your life.
Yep.
You can try and take like the elevator down to the lower levels and just hide in the one friendly place you know, which is Captain Ahab. Just dive in there and like, protect me, I'll pay you whatever kind of thing. Or you can try and use a less public transportation. There are ways to get down to the lower levels from this level via essentially climbing through the innards of the Hive City. You have no idea like any direction or which alleyway leads where or any of that shit. So essentially I'm asking you, do you want to risk taking the public area and thereby risk running into either more guards or getting shot at, or do you want to risk essentially hiding in an alleyway and trying to work your way down through the system?
Into the trash chute.
Into the trash chute it is. Okay, that's a deceive again for hiding. It would be deceive,
Yes.
wouldn't it? The good
Hopefully.
news is they do lose you enough for you to like squirrel yourself away. Now you need to find a way down. Explain to me, are you just going to try every alleyway you see until you find one that's open to the innards and just kind of climb for it? Or
Just a second.
you would theoretically
checking.
talk to someone? I mean, most people at this point are panicked and screaming about Xenos and, you know, pitchforks are getting gathered, that sort of thing.
Well, my int is better than my perception, if only just, so I am going to try and remember my way down there.
Never been there, so you're basically just guessing with brains.
Yeah, try to
Logically,
piece
this
I
chute
can't
should
retrace
take
my
me down.
exact. I can't retrace my exact steps. So I'm going to try and work my way down to the areas we came from, with whatever landmarks I can.
Very well, make your roll. Carnamord. You had enough of a head start and enough of... Well, you can just move through a crowd like it's not even there, so they can't keep up with you ever. Even if they
Hey,
see
Hive
you, you can
World
just
background.
run in that direction and they'll get to you next Tuesday. Also, you look human. That helps. You're
Plus
able
one
to
for
keep...
being a huge pussy. Woo.
You're able to keep out of their way, but you do know they're definitely still hunting hard for Sketh. So that most likely means he hasn't like gotten away. Had he just like booked it and vanished and they weren't able to keep up with him, they probably still wouldn't be able to like occasionally spot you. For them to be able to occasionally spot you means they're hard on Sketh's heels. So you don't know where he is precisely, but the hunt is still definitely on. They're not like confused or fanning out in a formation. No, they're on him.
I'm going to point in a random. I'm going to point in a random direction.
You pulling up?
No. I'm going to point in a random direction where I know Sketh didn't run, and tell random people in the crowd that he ran that way, so they'll tell the guards and get them going in the wrong way.
Okay, you're trying to mislead. Deceive, please. Deception, sorry.
Yep,
Deceive.
58 is my normal.
Oh, thank Jesus. Okay, so you're able to misdirect their hunting parties a bit, which is good. So with a bit of misdirection, Skith have got good news. You actually found, or at least think you found, a way down. You used the logic that, shit flows down. So anything that's not worth anything to anyone will go down a level. You basically take a trash chute, or what was probably a trash chute, or is used as a trash chute. Doesn't really matter. You're taking it. I need you to roll an agility test, a toughness test, and if you have acrobatics, but I don't think you do.
I do not.
Yeah, so just 2 agility. So agility, toughness, agility.
All right, toughness and agility are both 25.
Okay. Wow.
Toughness 99. What horrible disease do I pick up this time?
Well, let's find out, shall we? And you already had a thing, too, so it just gets worse. God damn it. Oh dear.
You have managed to catch the Blue Death.
No.
It is completely unique to yourself. I don't know how you caught this. Why did you even do that, you fool?
Okay,
You got E. coli.
no, he's just half blind. He got a virulent strain of what is essentially a highly mutated pink eye. Yeah, you're half blind. Yeah, there's a lot of penalties associated with that, so have fun with that one.
Shouldn't
Probably
that
the
take like a day
bionic
to
eye
start
that's
coming
still
in?
working.
Normally it would, yeah, but he got a 99, and that means it goes way faster than it should. He basically got a hunk of something in his eye.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's fun.
3 cheers for Auspex.
Yeah, the good news is you do have a mechanical eye, yes?
Yep.
Yes, that is unaffected by this in any way, shape, or form. However, relying upon it completely to see your way around means your perception is very weird as it sees through things. You kind of...
Yep.
You'll bump into shit a lot relying on that. You won't be blind, but you'll be weird blind.
Yeah, and it may be tunable, but I don't have tech use specialization.
Yeah, if you get your hands on SIG again, you can probably fiddle with it, but for the time being, you're half blind at best.
I take a moment to pause in a alley and just catch my breath just a little and get on the microbeat to find out whether or not Carnomard made it out okay.
Well, at this point, you're less inside of an alley and more inside the guts of the Hive City itself, probably sitting on a pipe about 4 meters down from where the street level is on mid-level.
Yep.
Wow, you're still alive?
That is a matter of opinion, but it is an opinion I hold.
Well, that's good. I misled the guards and got them searching in the opposite direction. Where'd you end up going to?
I am currently on a pipe labeled 27B. Further details than that will be furnished as they become available.
Okay, we'd better find a place where we should meet up. Where do you want to meet up?
Well, I was going to try and make a break for Captain Ahab's, as, you know, at least I know where that is, but...
God fucking damn it, son of... Fuck me sideways.
No.
Scathe,
Yeah, I'd
make a
rather
perception
not.
check.
Except I just remembered that there's supposed to be roving gangs down here that I'm trying to keep an eye out for, and...
Oh, good, you finally didn't roll shit. Okay. Inside the depths of over the grinding and the occasional like drippings you hear inside
If I
the
just ran
mechanics of the
into an
Hive City.
ROUS, I am going to skin you.
Worms of unusual size? I don't
really
believe
don't
they
want to be
exist.
skinned. Okay, it won't be an ROUS, but it might as fucking well be. Thing is coming this direction that sounds bigger than a human and breathes really hard. You might want to keep moving.
And you don't have your gun.
BRB dying horribly.
Oh. Oh no.
Going radio silent.
Okay, I need, and it's still deception. Deception to be quiet as you book it away from the breathing thing.
I don't
Still
suppose
versus
the other.
70.
I don't suppose our other 2 team members are in radio distance.
Unfortunately, the level up is higher than the distance between up and middle is greater than middle and lower, so no.
Yeah, and microbeads usually have a range of only 1 kilometer or 2.
Yeah, and remember, Hive Cities are retarded huge, so yeah, you're probably not in range. And if you are, it's real bad connection. They probably don't want you connecting to people up there.
I'm going to be spending my time looking for a way to talk to the ship then.
That
You're going to
proper
need to go talk to a
box,
navigator,
but-
i.e. yourself,
yeah.
so...
Yeah, a navigator with equipment, you.
Right then,
Yeah,
so...
I'm gonna need to go talk to the navigators then. At
Pretty
least I
much,
can
yeah.
get up to the upper level.
Okay, so, Sceth, you successfully not get eaten by the ROUS, which I actually don't know precisely. Well, there's a list of creatures that live inside these walls, so not sure which one, but it didn't really matter. Any one of them would have killed you, so yeah, you avoid the thing. So while that interesting bit is going on downstairs, we go back upstairs.
Meanwhile,
to the
in civilization,
completely oblivious pair of fellows. Okay, the ecclesiarchy is a little less distant, so we'll start with Des. Des, you make it to the chapel. It is not understaffed, but it is hardly a great center of worship. It's a minor footnote of worship.
Well, she wasn't exactly expecting a sister's enclave.
No. You're welcomed inside. They have no issue just letting you in straight up. I mean, your battle sister just take one look at you and go, oh, and you go. Primarily, they just have servitors for most of the duties. Anybody who has any actual position involving, actual, religious purposes, rituals mostly, is probably out doing them on the thing, blessing this ship or helping this person and so on. There's probably someone you could talk to inside, but you'd have to ask a servitor and so on.
Right. First, she's going to go and spend the time to pray.
Okay, while you're doing that, we'll see you in 3 days. I'm serious, though. How involved are you praying?
Well, okay.
Sisters have a number of rituals that can take a while.
But she needs to pay respects and do what she can while being expedient enough to take care of her wounds still. Going in and asking for help without doing so is just
are allowed
rude.
Because this is a bit of religious knowledge for you. That's just a freebie. Wounds are not seen as blasphemy, but it's considered unclean to be praying while wounded. If you can, if you're praying right after a fight, that's fine. But if you're wounded and in need of medical attention, you can put the prayer aside for a sec to go get that.
All right, fair. Then yes.
That was mostly instituted to stop Sisters of Battles from dying of infection every day.
Yeah, that would probably be a problem, actually.
Yeah, it would. So they kind of instituted the whole go get help first system.
All right,
Thus,
well,
you are allowed, by your own religion,
she'll
to
go find
get
a
help.
servitor and ask to see whoever's currently in charge.
It explains in a dull voice. Brother Hilger is the only being of station currently within the facility. And it sort of points, you're going to guess east, but basically down a hall.
She'll head off then.
And it's not difficult to find. It's not a proper office, but it's as much of an office as this place could have. It's essentially a boardroom. It might have been used to teach, essentially. It's one step above a bedroom, but below in terms of habitability. Anyway, inside, Brother Hilger sits. He's a big fella. I actually have a picture. One moment.
Ooh, I like it when people send me pictures over the internet.
Yes, fun. I'm going to put it in the mumbles. Mostly because the video can't see it no matter what I do unless I download the sodding thing, and I don't want to. The picture is accurate. And by accurate, I mean, yes, he is wielding a chainsaw roughly the size of his body and has a gun roughly the size of his torso, just kind of... He doesn't have them in hand, but they're nearby. He's currently, meditating is closer to what he's doing. He's not praying, he's meditating, because arms are folded over his chest, legs are crossed, and he's sitting on a pillow. At least I think it's a pillow. He seems focused, but the servitor did say he was free, so it's likely he's praying or meditating in his free time versus an actual ritual.
She'd knock lightly.
He turns about in his pillow slightly and goes, "Ah, sister, welcome." He rises. He's a big fella. He tops off at 6'2", and he's very widely built. You think he might have some excess fat on him, but there's cord and muscle. This guy is used to hefting very large things, as judged just by the bloody sword over there, and clearly has seen fighting, at least more than a handful of times. It's certainly not fighting you'd find on this planet. Is there something I can help you with?
Thank you, brother. I had an altercation while protecting a charge.
Ah, explains the damage. Yes. We have medical supplies. We have one medical servitor. I'll show you. Come.
Thank you.
leaves his equipment behind. He must just keep it in here for whatever reason, or expects us not to take long, and leads you along. He's stoic, let's go with that. He doesn't seem to speak unnecessarily while you're on your way. Assuming you just follow quietly, as is expected, you arrive at what is likely the cleanest room you've seen on this entire planet. It is not quite sterile, but it's as close as you're going to get, considering. And there is a servitor in there who, well, it looked nightmarish anywhere else. A lot of needles, a lot of saw blades, a lot of cutting tools, actually. Probably too many cutting tools.
I can assume she's probably seen one before in service.
Yeah, these are not uncommon. This is well, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's a low-grade model, but they do have better programming than a basic servitor. And more importantly, there are actual, like, proper medical supplies, like, in a couple cabinets you can clearly see labeled. So even if this thing's a complete idiot, you can treat your goddamn self. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, basically.
Good picture choice. So, yes, one of those, this one has like more limbs than usual, is willing to treat you. It's up to you whether you want to use your own, what is it, treatment check? Or actually, it's a skill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it'll just have to do it for you then, won't it? Goody.
Yeah, considering I have a Medica skill of 0.
Alright, I'll just double check what I need to roll. Because it is a servitor, and they're not great at anything. They're just not.
They're great at not being great.
Even then they suck, because there's shit that's way worse than them. Humans, mostly. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, okay, really? Alright, fine, whatever. Okay, the servitor takes one look at you, determines the arm needs to be removed, and makes to remove it. You may stop it freely.
Yes.
I rolled a 97.
I
I think you might need to treat yourself on this one.
don't think I can.
Yeah.
Medica's an
Fails
advanced
for
skill.
everyone.
I will allow this. There are actual medical supplies here. And according to what I know of the healing in this game, it's going to take time no matter what you do.
Yeah, first aid just lets
question
you
is-
remove some damage instantly.
Yeah. There's no way anyone here can remove damage instantly with first aid, because the servitor sucks ass. I will allow you to take some, well, more like Brother Hilger won't care if you do, take some supplies to, once you rest, have them available to heal, which speeds up the process significantly. Having
Fair
supplies when you rest means you actually heal at a good rate versus slow as balls.
Yeah, that's what she'll have to take, and I guess take the opportunity to clean herself up enough so she doesn't look like she's explicitly wounded too
Yes.
easily.
83 was it? Got so much shit open. You guys got into like 8 different scenarios where I'm just like, Alright, so while you're off doing that, we're going to zip on over to Sig. Hey, Sig. So, you are being taken to the Adeptus Mechanis. They actually have something of a better present than the Ecclesiarchy, as much as that can be said. Though, really, that's just because they know how to make their house look nice. because
Mm-hmm.
tech heads. So they seem to have at least a bigger place on the outset, or at least looks bigger. The guards leave you alone as soon as you're through the door, and you're almost immediately greeted by, well, a tech priest with at least 4 servitors hovering, like, just around. He actually has 3 servo skulls, believe it or not, just buzzing everywhere, and he just excitedly waves at you like he's greeting, like, his family who's been on vacation. It's like, oh, it's wonderful to see you, wonderful.
Sig will step over to him, I guess, and just give him a nod, kind of confused as to why he's so excited.
Oh, we haven't had one in forever. Just this, and he presents you. I'm trying to describe this in a way it's not creepy. It's hard. He's presenting you a excess tube, one end of which is connected to his skull, and it's presuming he wants to connect that end to your skull. Presumably. Maybe he wants it in your hand, but, because I think where his is.
Well, I'm assuming I know what this is.
Tech roll, please. It's not super common.
Right, I suppose common lore, Well, actually, would that be under forbidden lore?
Yes, let's go with Forbidden Lore would be more accurate to this.
I mean, technically, they're the same role for me, but...
Yeah, but for accuracy's sake.
Of course.
It's a tube. Goes in your head. What do you want from me?
I know, just... it's a tube.
It's definitely a tube. There's wires in it.
Forgive me, my brother, but I don't quite recognize that type thing.
Ask the fucker, and maybe you'll get something, is what he's trying to say.
Sorry, I had to get up to close the door.
It's alright. You might want to ask him what this thing is, or just jab it in your skull. Who cares?
I've not come across one of these before, brother.
Really? Oh. Have you not? Oh.
I've been
they're
on
not
a
new,
ship
they're,
for some time.
They're information processors. Yes. It did all this bothersome talking and voice boxes and just much faster.
Thought to thought.
Yes.
Debating whether that's a good idea.
That's a good debate to have.
Because if that just, freely gives away my information...
What's the worst that could happen?
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I have 2 fate points. I'm gonna spend one to reroll my, forbidden lore.
Fair enough.
There you go!
Holy shit, okay, you know everything there is to know about this little fucker. It is a data stream tube, I'm going to call it. You don't think this is a common invention of any sort? This might just be something that was developed on this planet or somewhere else in the Imperium and made its way here. It's not something you see every day. It was developed by tech priests for use with other tech priests. They are the only ones with the kind of mechanical augmentation, let's call it, in their heads in order to be able to take this and not turn into brain slurry. It essentially speeds up your thoughts and translate it directly into data into their thought node. It's a bit like talking, but way faster, and you can't, it's like whatever your surface thoughts are goes straight there. So in order for you to keep your cards close to your chest in terms of thought patterns, you have to make a willpower test. But, on the other hand, you will receive whatever surface thoughts they're having, again, barring a willpower test. So it's basically you both read each other's minds at the same
Really
time.
surface thoughts.
Yeah, surface thoughts. No deeper. And you make a willpower test to, hide certain information if you desire.
My willpower is 30.
Okay. His could be higher or be lower. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying he wants to do this. Obviously it's not something that happens every single time, but it makes total sense because Tech priests aren't super social.
Was he waiting at the door?
Pretty much, yeah.
So are we currently standing on the doorstep?
No, you're inside. Your like door's closed behind you.
I already think about naked Tao.
You start thinking about that, you can scream heresy and report you. And then continue on with his business.
And then go, how do you know what a naked Tao looks like?
Yeah. When did you discover that?
Please tell us.
Yeah. So, what would you like to do?
Debating whether I try and just say no or say no with a bluff involved, basically.
Do I say no or do I say no?
Well, yeah, it's do I say no as in I don't want to do this, or say no as in I actually can't do this?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just checking how shitty my roll is for that. Which is pretty shitty. Okay, well, I think I might actually do it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to use that excuse, I'm not stopping you. Just you have to roll. I will point out that tech priests. I mean, you're not like especially low on the willpower side of things. Tech priests are space nerds. They don't have very good social skills, and willpower, while not their weakest thing, is not their strongest either. They just tend not to socialize. Period.
Yeah. Actually, I should check something really quick before I get my implants. Right, okay, so that doesn't matter. Okay, is there any way to, like, marshal what my surface thoughts are before this happens?
I
mean,
yeah,
like, you know,
it's gonna take
before.
longer than like a minute.
Oh. Well, then what does it mean by surface thoughts? I assume that would be like, this guy looks ugly. Hey, I heard
No,
that.
marshaling your surface thoughts to actually like reinforce yourself to like not think about certain things, that would require some focus that takes like 5 minutes to do. It's not extensive, but you have to actually like put some discipline in your spine, guy. Just saying, don't think about this over and over doesn't work. You actually need to spend at least a little bit of time.
That's what that willpower test sounds like it's for.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. If you spend 5 minutes
Yeah, it's like if
marshaling
somebody tells you
yourself
not to
for
think
this?
about naked grandma, that's all you think about.
If you spend 5 minutes stealing yourself, I give you a bonus. If you don't get a bonus. That's all there is to it.
Okay, then I have one question.
God.
Does this 5 minutes have to be spent doing nothing else?
Nothing that requires a lot of strenuous thinking, I suppose, would be the best way to put it. Like, you can't really focus on anything.
But if, for example, I managed to finagle a look around the facility...
Oh, yeah, you could space out while he's showing you around, assuming he wants to.
Which would require basically the same kind of roll as if I'd said no.
Theoretically, yeah.
I think the only fellowship skill I have trained is command now.
Command him to do it. I outrank you. Fuck you, guy.
Do I outrank him?
You have a mark of trade. You outrank
Fair.
everyone on this planet.
I think command
So maybe the
works
planetary
weird,
governor.
though.
No, you outrank the planetary governor as well. Yeah, you outrank everyone on this planet.
I think command works weird, though.
A little, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check command, because, you know, if I am gonna do a fellowship, that's what I'm rolling, so...
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna check that. Yeah, it's basic, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, this skill is only effective upon those under the explorer's authority. So, if he's under my authority, I'll go for it. If he's not, he's not.
Technically, he's not, so...
Eh.
Sadly, you do not have that level of position. I mean, if you were to pull out your warrant of trade and make some sort of grand statement and had, like, you know, reputation with, like, the current adaptive, like if you had some kind of adaptus mechanis seal, yes, you would. But as it stands at this moment, no.
Random question, entirely random. Are there any Mechanicus implants to make it so you can like stand up really comfortably for hours at a time?
Yeah, that's like one of 3 big ones I think they have. Yeah.
Is it really? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure that there is a Mechanis implant so you can stand up really comfortably for hours at a time.
Alright, fine.
You wanna know why I'm sure? Because they're nerds and they're engineering nerds.
Yes, that's fair. Well, I will ask the guy one question.
What's that or mobile chairs? I know they have mobile chairs. So anyway, yes.
Well, yes, of course they have mobile chairs.
Kind of depends on which nerd you're talking to. So this
Dr.
guy...
Doom hover chair?
Yes,
hover chairs are way harder to make, but they probably have at least one. Go on.
Yeah, like the high-ranking paraplegic guy has to have one.
Yeah.
Sigil, just look at the servo skulls. What's the point of having 3, brother?
What's the point of having 1?
Old information that isn't worthwhile keeping in my own head.
There you are, then.
Why not just one big one?
I don't think they make skulls that big. Do they?
Well,
Do they make skulls that big? Have you seen skulls that big? Can you please put this in your head now?
You're rather eager, aren't you?
I wish to
Yes.
exchange information.
Yes, fine, he'll put it in his head.
Okay. What would you like to keep hidden from him and make a willpower test to do so?
I think the
Actually,
only thing...
I should describe this a little better.
Okay.
If you make a willpower save to hide something and fails spectacularly, he'll know you were trying to hide something. If you don't make any save at all, like you choose just whatever, he might not even know, like I said, it's surface thoughts, and he might not even look in that direction, let's call it.
I think the only thing that would actively need to be hidden is, you know, the Xeno.
Yeah.
And,
You
here's
won't
the
know what you
question.
tried to hide from him unless you roll like a 100.
Unless I shit, yeah.
So
here's
just,
the question.
even if you fail, all he'll know is you tried to hide something. Which, in their society, you know, isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an explorator. There's plenty of things that are... Like, there's stuff specific to Forge Worlds that they try and keep secret from other planets.
No, there's also he's going to expect you as secrets, and you can expect he has secrets. That's not the issue here. I'm just forewarning you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to make the willpower test to, you know, keep the Xeno secret, because
Fair enough.
everything else is kind of kosher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little weird, because Explorator with a word of trade, but...
It's weird, yes.
Weird's not a crime. Not that kind of weird, anyway.
No, weird is totally a crime, just not that kind, yeah.
Debating using my other fate or not.
Alright, if you may, if you wish. I won't reveal anything until you choose.
What are my odds on that?
Your odds are that you will roll higher.
Yeah,
pretty
they
much.
are.
You
Technically that's gambler's fallacy, but...
You have fate point to reroll. Would you like to?
Well, no, you're trying to get a 30%, so you have a 58% chance of rolling higher than 42.
Not that much higher than a 50-50.
Yeah.
And basically,
Do
I'm
what
not
thou will.
sure what else is going to come up to spend this on. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, alright, I will use my other fate point and try it.
Reroll.
Come on, RNGesus. No, come on, RNG Emperor. I can't think of a good way to fit that in, but there you go.
RNG Emperor works.
No. Damn.
The Emperor has not blessed you this day.
Probably for good reason.
So you're a heretic.
Yeah.
Heretic motherfucker. Maybe you should ask someone else for some blessings. Right. Unfortunately, you're not able to arrange your thoughts as well as you'd hope. This is a very new experience, having everything just kind of gush at you. It kind of explains this guy's like twitchiness, because
Yeah, he's used to the super flow.
yeah, it's just foam everything in your face at once, just everything. Do you actually have trouble filing through it all? Yes, it is.
Oh God.
Brain sex. Woo! Okay, the good news and bad news. The good news is you get some information. The bad news, he gets some information. You're not privy to what he gets, but you're privy to what you get from him. So it's weird. You get the impression he's mostly just curious how you got here and what new tech you have. And he's just kind of following that as deeply as he can.
Well, he'll probably know I have a ship then.
Yeah, he's well aware of that. You learn from him that the service girl's purpose is that he actually files through a lot of information, like a lot, and most of it has to do with like planetary business stuff. Thus the extra server skulls. He has so much information that it's just insane. And apparently he's either not high-ranking enough or they don't have enough spare systems to store it in, like data cubes and what. So server skulls it is for him for the time being. He owns 2 of the servitors behind him, but the other 2 are just regulars, which just kind of hang around the entrance for guarding purposes. So he owns 2, the other 2 are just from around. Yeah, you throw his rank in the middling area. He's not particularly high rank or particularly low. He is just middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Not really anything else getting out of him. He helped invent a new kind of can opener once, and he believes that the poison secreted by the creatures on this death world could be used in non-medical fashions, create a very interesting kind of bioweapon, but he doesn't know enough about biology to really put it together.
So the usual theories.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's that. Before you guys meld your brains and lose all possible identity, it cuts itself off, thankfully, and the little wire tubes sort of pop out free, just like eject themselves. He scrambles for it, and well, he doesn't really scramble so much as half bend his knees, wiggle his hands, and barely able to pick the sod, like the drooping thing up, and like ties it around his right hand. Thank you. Hey, all right, goodbye. And he just scurries the fuck off. You didn't even get his name, honestly. Like, it wasn't. The thoughts were just so in your face. You grabbed what was important. You didn't even get the sucker's name. He just off he goes.
But I got
probably yell for
basically his
him,
title.
His title is Tech Priest.
In charge of planetary stuff.
I guess his number would be 16,054, or at least around there, because it's the 16,000s range. So yeah, around there. Is his serial number, I guess we're gonna call it, and his rank is middling tech priest in charge of paperwork, essentially. Planetary paperwork involving input. Like, stuff they got imported. It's a job that is required and is semi-important, but is useless in terms of anything except trying to corner the market share.
Right. Well, I assume I'm just left in the entrance to the building now.
Pretty much, yeah. He fucked off. The good news is there's only 2 servitors now, and this place is buzzing with electronics. It would not be hard to find a Vox, what is essentially a computer. Like, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Now, finding medical supplies and that sort of thing, different story. That
requires talking to a person.
Probably, yeah.
Or, as close as tech priests get.
Yeah, they're like, 50% person. That's pretty close.
Well, Sig will march right up to a servitor.
It's a servitor. This one looks to be a lifter. What it lifts, you have no idea.
Probably whatever it needs to.
Yep. It registers your existence.
Yes. Because there's a servitor in, the tech priest building, I'll speak to it in the tech priest language.
Alright. You communicate your desires to it in an efficient manner. It essentially just kind of meanders in a direction, and you presumably follow.
Yes. And I'm asking for, someone to talk to.
Yep, it leads you to the exact same tech priest you talked not to, or Brain talked to, not even 10 minutes ago.
Lovely.
He seems surprised to see you again. Have you more data? Data?
None for that kind of exchange. I have a question.
Ah, questions.
You undoubtedly saw that I came here in a void ship. That void ship is in need of a medical crew. Do you know where I could find this?
He seems to, look distant for a bit. No.
Do you know who might know?
Looks distant for a little bit. No.
Do you know who might know who might know?
Spends
And
a
now
moment
we're in the
thinking.
loop.
Perhaps.
Will you direct me to them?
Outside? There is, he spends a moment, he basically just grabs a servo skull and starts basically flipping through it.
Sure.
And after essentially staring into the thing's eyes and scanning through a few pieces of data, and taking out what looks like a slip of card and slotting that in its teeth over and over, he eventually pulls something out of it. It looks like it's a little data slate, basically, and says, "We have had a influx of," and he he seems to have trouble just talking to someone, explaining things. He is stumbling over his own words constantly. Of the thing that he holds up the tube again. It just looks at you.
Is the information on the servo skull?
Yes, he showed you. He basically hands you a data slate, which you'd shove into a servo skull.
Thank you.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's about right.
Well, assuming that he has no problem with me having the data slate.
No, he doesn't seem to care. You could probably put it in your servo skull, no problem.
Yes, but I'm assuming that he's going to get back to whatever he's doing the moment I step away.
He seems to be staring at you at the moment. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Well, assuming that I'm free to step away.
You seem to be. He's not stopping you, just watching you.
Omnissiah, bless your circuits, brother.
May the machine spirit ever function.
And leaving.
You gone.
Data slate, go into servo skull.
Okay, it seems to be listing a lot of useless data, and by a lot I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised at all.
However, there is one thing of note. Apparently, because of the value of this special sauce for uses of disinfectant, it was valuable enough to actually have the Imperium drop off at least one Space Marine who is essentially trained in medical care. There are others who are just regular folk, doctors as close as can be described, sent here as well. So there's at least a small pool of trained medical professionals who are at least maybe not directly answering to, but might as well to this one apothecary.
We should
Which is a
totally bring
Space
the
Marine.
apothecary. Nothing bad could happen from that.
So the apothecary would most likely have the most information, the most training, and the best supplies, and would be able to direct you to any of the other ones without a problem.
Right. bringing
There is
the
a fairly
apothecary
strong chance this
himself
apothecary
back.
was sent on this mission because he's either terrible at combat somehow, as Space Marines go,
Or has
volunteered, or did a bad, and this is his redemption, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because usually apothecaries are with their unit in combat.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
a little weird to see him out alone doing this. So there's
The only
probably
time
a
they
reason
wouldn't be
for
is if they're in the Death Watch.
it. That or did something stupid, or
Yes.
had a stupid happen.
Well, I'll assume so they can give me information, or I can get that information from a servitor, because they're servitors.
Pretty much, yeah. They be servitors. They'll point you where the apothecary currently is, supposedly.
Yep.
The apothecary does move around a lot and spends an unusually long time out in the death jungles because, well, he can.
Because he's bored.
He's bored. He wants to tear the head off something. Yeah, usually with the excuse of getting samples, which he was getting samples. Currently, he is within the city. He lives in probably the highest point, short of the frickin' planetary governor, and has quite the laboratory, let's call it. You could probably get access, but it'd be actually kind of hard. Number one, he's busy. Number two, they're not very social. Number three, he's high up enough to where you need an excuse to be there. Like, you have to know people to get there. Or have a really good excuse. He'd be able to direct you the easiest. That's not to say you couldn't find just them about. It's unlikely that all of the people sent here, like they sent one apothecary and a bunch of regular, again, the best term I have is doctors. Those more like medics in training, let's call them, to do most of the grunt work for him, presumably. And it's likely they don't live anywhere near him or have as much supplies or labs. So you could probably get a hold of them easier than him directly, but him directly would give you the most information.
But if he's in his lab at the moment...
He is. Or at least he says he is. The last time he put an update, he was.
And that's a place kind of difficult to get into. Well, I'll head towards his lab. Like the closest place I can get to it that actually is still I can just be there.
That would probably be the Upper Reaches Market, which is combination Crack Den and Bazaar.
That's a lovely combination.
Well, really nice Crack Den, let's go with. Hookah Den? I don't know.
Okay.
Imagine a hallway, a really big one, like really sodding big, that is decked out in like tapestries, velvets. There's a bloody carpet on the floor, like in this section. There's carpet, like shag carpet instead of like metal. And
Weird.
it's just decadence everywhere. It's like, you think the most decadent bazaar you can imagine, and that's about right. Like they don't even, half the time they don't even really sell anything. There's just people hanging around, smoking or discussing, or just the level of squandered wealth here is impressive. It's a market, sort of. Stuff is being exchanged, but not in the usual sense. Money isn't handed so much as the concept of money is handled. Like, one will say, I'll trade you 8 ships for 12 of that kind of thing. Like, just so much money is being thrown around and it means nothing.
Well, either look for a guy who...
You stand out like a sore goddamn thumb, but you are a tech priest, so you go where you want.
Yes. I'll either look for a guy who looks to be selling that, white medical paste stuff.
Ah, the special sauce.
Yeah, the special sauce. Or a servitor. One of the two.
Servitors are not actually as uncommon here. They're much better quality, at least in terms of looks. It's going to take you a minute or two to actually locate someone who's directly selling the stuff. Most of them are going to be dealing in such large bulk amounts or be fucking barons of the stuff that talking to them would just be, I don't know, almost pointless, or they wouldn't let you talk to them.
Well, then let's just go for a servitor.
Yeah, I'm going to have you spend a bit. That's going to take you a little less than an hour to, I'm going to say, schmooze your way and try and look like you actually have something like important to talk about, because they're not going to talk to you directly, and they're not going to let you talk to their servitors because, well, not directly talk to their servitors because unless you claim something is wrong with one, and even then, it's a lot of schmoozing and double talk, and it's annoying and takes about 40 minutes, my point. So while you're doing that, I'm actually going to jump back to Skeeth real quick. Skeeth, Skadooble. Daleth, my friend. You're still alive by virtue of some fucking how.
I've been eaten by a grue.
Not yet. Actually, you
have
are
eaten the
descending
grue.
through the mechanics of the inside of the Hive City, where it is the grimiest, grossest, and worst ever. At what point would you like to see if you're at the lower level? There's no real way to tell inside, and you can try and use tech use to try and read the symbols if you have it.
Good one, good one. No, I can't take that until I hit rank 2.
I'm presenting options. I'm not sodding.
Yep.
You don't get freebies from me, butthole.
Yep.
You're alive. You be thankful for that.
I have int.
You may use an int check to try and determine, based purely on the distance you've gone down, what feels like the distance you've gone down, compared to the distance you went with the elevator.
Versus,
so essentially a rough guess.
Yep. Versus 55.
Very good. Yeah, it was actually a somewhat difficult one, and you passed. So, you are actually about the point where if you were to, like, try and move a panel, you'd only be about 10 feet before a meter from the floor of the lower level.
Okay. I will try to look both ways, make sure the coast is clear of
The
anyone
coast is
who
never
might
fucking
care.
clear, guy, but it's not full of guards or anything.
Yep. Slip out of the metalworks and attempt to ken where I am.
All right. Let's see. There's quite a few things you could roll. Well, how would you like to ken where you are? Are you talking to someone? Are you just looking around?
I'm guessing this place does not have it. This infinite labyrinthine hovel has nothing so friendly as street signs.
Heh. There are occasionally what were once signs. The thing is, they're all in, like, what is essentially code to you. Like, this is corridor Alpha 12B. Thank you, I'm in corridor Alpha 12B. Hooray! Not too helpful. Plus, a lot of them are missing or damaged, and more importantly, quite a few have gang signs scratched over them, so, you know. Not helpful. Actually, roll me an int check.
Yeah, how did we find our way to Captain Ahab's place the first time?
Following the gang symbols. It's the most accurate way to find your way around. So, roll me an int check to see if you can recognize the current gang symbol. Because that would narrow down where you need to go.
Yep, verse 55 again.
Very good. This tells you that, rather specifically, this is owned by what is essentially called... The translation is bad because they're kids. They can't spell worth shit. Corridor rats, you'd guess? Or maybe rats, though. More like corridor vermin. It's closer. This is not a very powerful gang. They really like knives. And they're not too violent. And they only really get violent when they're cornered. Thus the vermin title. So they're dangerous when cornered. Otherwise, they leave well enough alone. They're mostly drug addicts.
That is an amazing amount of information to encode in a gang sign.
How do you think they communicate? There's this whole system. Also, you did have access to some information earlier, and it did mention them.
Yes.
Regardless, you do know beyond that, you know that this is within walking distance of Captain Ahab, roughly. By walking distance, I mean like it's going to take half a day. Assuming you are where you think you are.
That elevator took us a long way.
Well, yeah, but the elevator is... You're actually kind of far from the elevator, is the thing. And another thing, you don't have a map to tell you where to go. You're alone, and I'm presuming you don't want to, you know, just walk in the middle of the street, obviously injured. So there's a lot of things slowing you down. If you were at, like, if you had your whole group, you're at peak health, and you have a rough idea what direction to go in, you'd guess it'd take you less than an hour.
Roger
But
that.
considering all these problems you're having,
Yep.
It's going to take a bit. Mostly because you want to go unnoticed, Mr. I'm injured and have no weapon.
Yep. Everything has gone according to plan.
Ha! Your plan sucks.
I shall start wandering towards Captain Ahab's.
Alright, deception. A lot of it. Like 3.
Alright, with my fatigue, it's still effectively 70.
Whoa.
Finally! You stopped sucking. You're going to make pretty decent time. Let's see. I'm measuring time and going by who's next. Carnivore. There we go. Right. What are you up to? You did rather get cut off rather hastily by Skeeth as he proclaimed BRB going to be eaten, so, you know. He may have meant going to get some food, but, you know.
Well, he said he might be heading towards Captain Ahab, so I guess I'll go back. I still have the map on me, so I'm going to follow that.
Yeah, you're going to have no problem making your way to Captain Ahab's quite efficiently. So you two will meet up at this time. Technically speaking, we're on Des already as you two are walking. So, Des, do you have anything you would like to do?
Well, she is pray because she needs to atone for quite a bit by now.
I don't know if you're going to atone for some of the shit you've done.
Yeah, well, she has to try regardless.
Trying's always. That's a good gesture. Not that the Emperor gives a fuck. Right, so you... by prayer, you mean like full on or minor rituals or... I'm asking, do you want to spend 5 hours, 3 hours, or an hour? 5 hours is the full-on ritual, like you get out of your shit, you sit down, you get the incense out, like full-on. 3 hours is, you get the incense out, but you keep your armor on. 1 is, fuck it, I'm just praying.
Honestly, until someone comes and gets her, she's probably going to spend 5 hours.
Alright, the full fucking ritual. You get naked and get the flail out. Alright then. You think I'm kidding? No, I'm serious.
No,
if you want
I
to atone
know
for your
they-
sins, you get the fucking flail out.
Yeah. They have a specific one that doesn't do as many wounds as a normal one.
I
Yep.
didn't know they were Catholic.
Kind of are. It's kind of evolution of heavy Catholicism. But moving on. So you're doing that. Oh, okay. Skeeth is the next time jump, whatever thing. Yes. All right, Skeeth. You do not make it too far before you run into this problem. Okay, you're very close to where Captain Ahab is, you believe. The trouble is that there's 2 gangs hashing it out kind of in the way. You could go out of your way, and by out of your way, I'm talking tack an hour onto your walk to get around that. But yeah, there's 2 rival gangs having a disagreement. By disagreement, I mean they're breaking one another's arms with clubs. No gunfire yet, but, you know, clubs are involved.
Where is this happening?
You essentially are ducking from hobo den to hobo den. It's happening on an alleyway off of an alleyway, believe it or not. So there's the main courseway, an alleyway, and then an alleyway going to another alleyway where this is actually all happening, sort of an intersection area.
But it's an alleyway I have to go through?
Yeah, unless you want to go on the main courseway and have everyone see a beat-up, broken, unarmed fucker asking to be mugged.
How many other exits from this alley that they're having a powwow on are there? As in,
The one's
do
the
any
main
of them...
courseway, the one that goes essentially around this
Well, I mean-
nonsense.
I mean, when they finish breaking each other's arms for fun and profit, how many ways other than towards me do they have to disperse in?
3.
I will stay put in my hobo den and wait for them to break up their fight.
All right, so we'll just do some small rolls. Time. Carnivore, you have arrived at Captain Ahab's. Sketh is either not there or being very, very quiet. We are outside of his place, so maybe he let him inside. I mean, the door isn't open, so...
I'll wait around for maybe half an hour and see if he shows up.
Okay. Rolling. Okay, yeah, so Skaith is next. They break up their fight, not willingly, though, because something else shows up. Basically, a third gang showed up, and these guys have guns. So those 2 gangs stop their shit and fuck off. Good news is, they fucked off. Bad news is, the third gang is hanging out in the main courseway, and there's a chance they might spy you as you're, like, scurrying through the alleyways. So, deception check to scurry by, or you can try and wait it out. It's been roughly 20 minutes. You scurry by as an unnoticed hobo. Nice. So, actually, just as the 30-minute mark hits Carnivore, you see Sketh, or what you think is Sketh, it could just be a hobo, poke his head out of an alleyway in a worried fashion. You have spotted one another.
Yay!
I get on the microbeat and confirm that's him.
Aye, that's him. You may now do as thou will.
Hi. I
Well,
I am genuinely surprised to see us both still alive.
as am I.
Well, Carnivor's fucking fine. He didn't even get hit.
I'm very surprised to see you alive.
Yeah.
Your face is looking sort of bad there.
What fucking face?
I'm just taking these things one step at a time at the moment.
Yeah, we need to get you looked at.
I don't suppose there's. Oh, did your gunboat make it away?
As far as I know.
As far as you know, yes, it did. It at least got in the air. Whether or not I got shot down from the anti-aircraft gun is another story.
Maybe we should have just asked them to meet us at a different landing pad.
Oh, they were locked in, so they had to get out.
They shot their way out.
I think he means like bring down a different vessel.
Well, getting back into contact with the void ship is my next step of action.
Yeah. We'll burn that bridge down when we get to it.
Exactly.
Ha!
May I have my gun?
Oh yeah, sure. Here you go.
Gun is retrieved. It's in fine condition.
I re-stow it and notice that it now sparkles and shines compared to the rest of my attire.
Yeah. You miss being clean. Also, your face itches. A lot, and you can't see so good.
Yeah. I look at the door to Captain Ahab's and timidly knock.
Get the fuck in! At least you think is what you said.
I don't even know what you said.
Well, that's the point.
He said to get in.
I push the door open, trying not to leave myself illuminated in the doorway so I get shot.
Captain Ahab is there. He has the Ripper gun out again, but he like narrows his eyes at you and goes, "The fuck is a corpse walking around? Wait, you and I, it's a prank. Shitty prank."
I got better.
Huh.
I don't suppose I could trouble you for just a handful or two of that alcohol, could I?
Your kind drink this? Hold on. He trundles off to a corner, shuffles through a number of bottles, some of which are half full, some of which are quarter full, some are sort of full, none of them are clean. Eventually, he trundles to you. He does have a little bit of a limp, actually. It's not much, but you're basically watching him cross enough of a distance to say, yeah, he's got a limp. Wouldn't really impede him much in running, though, probably. At least not any short distances. And he passes you I'm going to generously call it a bottle mostly full of alcohol. At least you hope it's alcohol.
Is it clear?
No.
Does it have things floating in it?
Yes.
Do they look like they're still alive?
Well, no, but that one suspiciously looks like an eyeball, but it's not an eyeball at the same time because it's not shaped right. Or has a pupil. So, a pupilless oval eyeball, maybe? Yeah. It could be an egg. It definitely could be an egg.
Well, it's fermented, and that's good enough. I shall pour that on my face to try and clean these wounds, and I will deal with the rest of the first aid later.
Toughness, you dumb son of a bitch.
This will help clean the wound.
No, it'll bring a brand new infection. Roll 10 toughness, goddammit.
Only by a factor of 2.
Let me go look. The good news is it is alcohol. So there is alcohol in there, so...
Yep.
It's not as bad as it could be.
We're the best.
Actually, you got lucky. You basically just... You wasted your time, let's call. It hurts like a son of a bitch, and that's about all you know.
Good.
The guy grunts, wasted good alcohol.
That is a matter of opinion.
Yeah, it's my alcohol. My goddamn opinion. The fuck happened? Wait, let me guess. You got found out.
They got a look at me. And
Yeah. What did
then
you
I made
expect
it
to
away.
happen, you dumb son of a bitch?
Well, we were trying to make them not see me.
You
And it didn't
fucking
work out.
failed.
I don't suppose you know of any places, of any landing pads that specialize in working with smugglers, do you?
Well, at least you're direct. I like that. Of course I do.
Could you direct us to one of those so that we don't have to use the main spaceport?
I don't know. What's it worth to you? Sounds to me like you can't use the main spaceport, and that's interesting.
Well, I don't know.
I will hand him. I will hand him the map I made of the warp getting to here.
He looks at it and doesn't really recognize what it is in any way, shape, or form, because of course he fucking doesn't. But once you explain what it is, his eyes sort of light up and go, ah, well then, that's something. Fair enough indeed. Rolls it up, puts it, well, it doesn't really roll it so much as fold it, it's more of a clip pad, but point is, puts it away and looks to you and goes, alright, here's not every single one of those pads is controlled necessarily by the guard directly. Thing is, I'm assuming you can't be seen by the guard flat, even uglier than you are. So we got two options. We can either use a middle level one, which will be stable as they get and on, and the guard will just be on a certain payroll and told to ignore what they see. So as long as you're inside a box or covered up right, they'll probably ignore you, and if they don't, just pass them a couple bills and they'll fuck off or use a good excuse. As long as you don't obviously you're good. Or the other option, which is a lower level port. We do have one, but it's a little down low. It's not in great condition, and it's not well equipped, even for here. But it's secret, and if you don't want to be seen at all, even on the vague risk that one of the guard might rat you out for a bigger payday kind of thing, you could walk around as yourself.
We'll go with that one.
Thing is, Landon's a pickle. Taking off's a pickle too, but And like I said, it needs to stay hidden from, view, and that means it's not in a position of easy landings. I'll just say you'd be the fourth crash after last month. Yeah, fourth after last month.
Well, right now my pilot is a 42. Yeah, we'd better go with the first one if we want to be able to get in and get out.
I'm just basically saying the lower level one is safer, but harder to get into via ship because it's hidden and kind of crappy. Other one, easy ship, kind of still need to stay hidden.
Yeah, we'll have to go with the first one. My pilot's not... I don't trust my piloting skill.
Whichever one you use, you're going to need this. And he spends a moment and actually takes a bottle and takes it looked like an empty bottle, but actually pulls a slip of paper from sealed inside of it. It looked like it was just a brand, but turns out it's a slip of paper with some on the back. This is directions to the lower level one. And this, and he just hands you a more normal, slip of parchment, you think, or some creature's hide dried out. It's really hard to tell at this point. That is directions to, basically, it just lists a serial number of which harbor to use, essentially, or dock to use on the middle level. And the other piece of paper just tells you directions to the lower level one. Basically, just directions. Whichever one you use, there you go. Yeah, thank you. Star charts, you don't see those often.
I do.
Warp path. Of course you do, but, warp paths. My kind of line work. I don't get navigators often. Alright, got anything else you need?
No,
That's it for right now, thank you.
You don't need medical attention.
I don't.
No, you don't. I'm just wondering whether or not he's supposed to look like that. He's kind of sizzling.
I assumed the bottle you just handed me was the best medicine that you had available.
Are you serious? It's like looking at a carnivore, are you serious?
Yeah. If you know somebody who can help us out, that'd be great.
The fuck is my job? Even if I don't have it on hand, I could tell you where it is, you dumb fuck. Right? He, like, basically just gropes at his beard, scratching and twirling. I'm gonna do you a solid on this, and you look pretty... You look dead. You look dead. I'll give you a solid. Alright, this is Doc, right? He got his fingers into a... He was respectable, but you see, some noble wanted him to do some weird shit with her nose or her tits or I don't fucking care. Point is, he got his hands in there, he fucked up, they didn't like it, they took his arms, he told them to eat it, you know, he got down here, point. Now, he's not got as steady a hand as he used to, you know, not having hands, but he still got it, and he's honest enough. He's probably the only one down here I'd trust to, you know, stitch a wound shut without either paying him entirely too much or having bits in there I don't want. You get me? He's the one who did this for me, and he rolls his sleeves up a bit, and you realize that his arms aren't his arms. They're mechanical. Like, they're a pair of burly mechanical arms, which would explain in detail why he's able to lift the Ripper gun and use it at all.
Sweet, we're gonna make him into Darth Vader.
Right, he did this for me. And if he can pull that off, I'm sure he can put like a faceplate on you to make you slightly less ugly. Or at least replace some of your ugly ass blood. Do Tau have blood? They probably do.
I think
Yeah.
I'm certain I left some of it on the floor on my way here.
I don't know.
It looks like he's
las
bleeding
guns
to
tend
me.
to burn shit off. You might not have any.
I don't know, he looks like he's bleeding to me.
Fuck it. Point is, the doc lives. He lives at an intersection between these two gangs. Well, most who doesn't live in an intersection between two gangs, but these two particulars. He basically gives them free service in exchange for not robbing his ass. So they're actually pretty. A couple of them are like, you know, enhanced. You know, kind of like I am. You know, the limbs and all that, but you know, with weapons occasionally, and they got a couple servitors apparently on task. And the point is, they got some serious firepower comparatively. So don't piss them off. Directions, right? Hold on. He thumps a bottle in front of you. Bottom end of that. Look into a light while looking through it. He'll tell you.
You certainly have a magnificent theme going, sir.
Theme?
You've got bottles worth of theme.
Takes a long drink from just a bottle of alcohol and goes, I don't get it. What the fuck else am I supposed to... Oh, what? What the fuck else am I supposed to... Do I look like I have cabinets? You tell me where the shit I put this crap.
Maybe you should melt the bottles down and make cabinets out of them.
With what and how? I don't know how to make a cabinet. I'm not paying for one. Fuck that. I've got a couple folders and a lot of bottles. I keep the folders full of important stuff in my desk, and the bottle is everything else. Mostly directions. Besides, what fucking authority is going to trace a bottle? Authorities can't trace a bottle. It's a bottle.
The bottling authority?
They have that. Shit. Well, you have your information. If you need something else, pipe up or fuck off.
I think we'll fuck off, thanks.
Alright, have a good fucking.
I'm
presuming you.
Probably
Skeff
not.
makes a
He's not
point
really
of
my
not
type.
of neither objecting nor speaking up.
I'm presuming you leave.
Yeah, we're going now. Let's go get you some medical attention, then we'll head to the spaceport. Hopefully we can call the ship from there.
Alrighty, I'm assuming you mean the bribe spaceport or the lower level.
We're gonna go with the bribe one because I need to be able to get in and out of it.
Alright, fair enough. Let's see, it is 6 at this moment, so this is a good, fair enough place to stop, I believe.
There's just no point in getting the more secure one if I can't land the ship there without crashing it.
Okay, let me make a couple
Or
of
your
notes.
co-pilot can't get it into us.
Yeah, because he's probably got a worse piloting than I do. I don't know if they have numbers assigned to them, but probably not good.
I have a couple numbers assigned to at least the co-pilot. You're a better flyer than him.
Especially now since I just boosted it up to a lofty 42.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of a point. Right, so that was this particular session. You split the party in every way imaginable, which was fun. I had
Let's
to
see
use
here.
a timetable to see who went next.
We got split into 4 separate sub-parties, and I got my face split several different ways. I'd call that a success.
I will comfort you, Sketh, in saying, although it is near impossible and extremely unlikely, you can earn new fate points.
Oh
By
yeah,
that
I know.
Just you'd have to do something amazing. So start doing things amazing.
If we couldn't, I imagine Warp would have immediately rioted.
Yeah, or if
Yeah.
you learn them when you earn them when the adventure makes certain milestones, or when you personally do something so amazing you deserve one.
Now, I would say living through that is amazing. You have to earn one, but you spent a bunch to live through it, so it kind of no.
Yeah, spent 2, burned 1. Yeah, no. no.
All right, wonderful job, and I'm going to give some extra XP this session because Sketh nearly died, and well, that's deserving of a little bit of credit. He did live somehow through it.
You didn't die!
You didn't die, and you guys were at least semi-clever in at least your approach. I.e., you all didn't fuck up at once. We're going to say...
It's a Christmas miracle on Halloween.
750 XP for everyone.
It is not Halloween.
Ooh.
It is All Saints Day. Thank you very much.
I
Quick,
don't want
name all the
to
saints.
slice up and give
No.
some characters more XP than others, so I'm just taking basically Sketh's bonus for not dying and sort of spreading it around. So
750. Whoa!
for all of you, yay!
Hooray.
Which is 250 more than usual. The bonuses come from not tipping your hand, the suppression trick, and not dying. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'm telling you exactly what I'm spending it on now. 500. I'm putting 500 into putting my fellowship up to basic, and banking the rest of it.
Fair enough.
To be aware, we were 500 away from rank 2.
Oh, you were going to hit rank 2 even if I didn't give you the bonus XP guy.
Yeah, I know, but now we're going to have 250 into rank 2.
Yes.
Hey,
You are. To be clear, I had...
this 750
5?
only that 750 now only brings me up to 750 total now. Over here,
That's
5,000 starting, 500 at the end of sessions 1 and 2, 750 now. That's
Hang on.
6,750.
That's what I have as well.
Am I wrong? Let me check something.
Regardless if you're wrong or not.
That's what I have too.
Okay, clearly he's wrong then. Or everyone else is wrong somehow. Entirely
Democracy has spoken. I will see you all next week.
See y'all next week. What was I gonna say? Yeah, saw it. I hope you all have a great time. I hope this was fun. Good job
right.
not dying.
Figured out what my problem was.
Mm.
I forgot that you start with 4,500, and that first 500 you spend is what gets you to 5,000. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
That brings
Okay.
my fellowship up to a lofty 63.
It's a slow grind forward. I'm surprised you guys haven't tried to get like more arms and equipment yet. That's usually what most people do the first thing they have a chance to.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
the
kind of
first-
loaded to bear.
No, you're not. Trust me. I've seen way bigger.
I'm planning on holding on to my XP and making a mad dash to max fellowship.
No, not XP. I'm talking about like just mad dashing, like having your Tau roll commerce like a boss and just getting all kinds of weird shit. There's no
What the
such
hell
thing
am
as
I
being
buying?
over-prepared in this system.
Yeah.
Guess I need to look at what kind of really
Well,
broken
we're-
bolters I can get, because that's all I really can use.
Well, we're trying to resupply the ship first, and then we can
That's
worry
on
about
its
that.
way, and it's happening regardless.
Now it is, anyway.
And now we have to get unshot.
Hey, good luck with that one. Yeah, even on like a full hive world, still not going to encounter a whole lot of like trained medics just on standby. If you had good standing with the Imperial Guard, yeah, no problem. But I knew not this group.